Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Test Podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live on a Sunday morning, and we have company, everybody. That's right. Today's guest is comedian, actor of stage and screen, podcast host of the Mundane Festival, and friend, Chris Lambert. What's going on, buddy?
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Oh man,
I'm
thanks
doing
for being
okay.
here. How you been, man?
I've been maintaining, trying to elevate, man. It's been rough. I lost my dad last December, as you guys know, and it's just it's devastating. But I'm trying to pick up the pieces and live my life the way that he would have wanted me to.
Yeah, man. We hung out in New York a couple of times, and I also listened to the Mundane Festival and stuff. And
Thanks.
um, your dad just seemed like a real cool dude. Like kind of like I'm a kid that my dad's my hero. So
Yeah,
so it's like that kind of feeling where it's like it's weird because like when like someone famous dies, it's like everyone loses a hero, but when it's just like your dad, it's like
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's like this insular, like, damn man, this is like I wish y'all could understand how big this is, but
Right,
I try to relate to it through just knowing who my father is
right.
and what that must feel like. So obviously I've said it in person, but my condolences, our condolences as well.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely it's rough, but it's you can, especially after you hear what's that, the Kendrick's dad record.
Oh man, father, daddy issues or father issues or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like, oh, I didn't have that, that's a good. I didn't have that, so I
father
had a
time.
great guy. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's one. Yeah, and maybe I would have been a better rap. Maybe I would have been a better rapper if my dad was shitty,
yeah.
and he
Push you to
and
the next level.
and he could have had a Lincoln Navigator or whatever, a late model truck. And he's like, I was a shitty guy, but I got this truck.
Listen, okay, you're not a failed running back because I
Yeah,
wasn't there.
yeah, that's basically that bit. Yeah, because he was there. So it's like, so I try to make people laugh. But yeah, man, it sucks, but it's a part of life. We all got to do it, and it's it's yeah, I just kind of, we're at that age where people that we love, that they leave
Yeah,
us, and
Yeah, it's it.
you all know what it's like, and it's just, you see people on Facebook all the time. It's just like, oh, my dad, my hero, my bed. It's like, fuck, and you just think
yeah.
I gotta send her a couple likes so maybe my parents will stay alive a little longer. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
put that karma out there. It's just like, ugh, it's
Yeah,
it's
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 a process, Chris, and
mhm,
I think that for a lot of people, it's a club that nobody wants to be a part of, but
right,
it's one of those things where people who have both of their parents, not trying to funny, you don't understand, and I'm not saying that in an insulting way or anything. You just don't comprehend what it's like not to have that person present there, particularly if they were heavily involved in your life.
yeah,
And also, I think for me, it makes you appreciate the time that you did have. Because
yes,
sometimes when people are living, you take for granted that they're going to kind of always be there, even though loss is a part of life. Don't get me wrong. You just
hmm,
take for granted that they're kind of always going to be there. And then when they're not, that's when you go, well, okay, I'm going to remember and cherish these times. And the times that I do have with people, I'm actually going to reevaluate what is important and what's not important, and where do I put my time and effort, and people that are important to me, dedicate more time to them.
right. Because I would say during like all those holidays, like Mother's Day and Father's Day, I would say, like, even, it's like, you appreciate those people, those figures. If you still got them, call them, and because it's gonna be a time when you can. Like, I would know, like, just like, because my dad worked in the grocery store industry, and we would talk about, that's like one of the eh, things we used to talk about all the time, like different stores and all this stuff. And I would go, I said, oh, have you ever, I used to take pictures of stuff and say, have you ever seen this before? Have you ever heard of this? Or what do you think? And it was just like random shit. Cause I would know that there's going to be a day I couldn't do that anymore. Even on the
Mm,
most mundane bullshit stuff. And it's just like, you don't, now that I don't have that, I appreciate those moments, you know. So
yeah, I went down my parents' house yesterday when Karen's getting her hair done, and you know, my dad took me around to his garden in the back and showed me all the plants again, and you know, and kind of quizzed me on like, what's that? He was like, oh, that's squash, or oh yeah, bell peppers or whatever. And I think one of the things that people haven't realized about the pandemic is it sped a lot of this shit up. Everything sped up. And a lot of people have lost folks during the pandemic. Like, I know your dad didn't pass because of COVID, but like,
yeah,
a lot, like that's another reason you log on Facebook and you just see so much, you know, because you know, COVID, and then the fact that COVID clogged up the hospitals and all this shit, you know, people going through it. And I think it's like that line in Everything Everywhere All at Once, where it's like, when we don't know what's going on, we could still be kind or whatever. And I feel like a lot of people haven't absorbed that lesson. It's been going the other way, where it's like people been less kind and more lashing out because they don't know what's going on. It's been more violence and all that stuff. But I think also when you Black, you just, it's just my anecdotal experience, but I feel like we appreciate our parents more. Yeah, because we know how much the world is doing to try to make sure they're not there. You know what I mean? Because as existing as human beings, not even just the whole like hotel family unit thing, but just as a human being, I know all the pressure that's on a Black person every day to exist and live and try to like survive this world. So I always feel like when Black people talk about our parents, it feels different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you listen to white people talk about their parents, and if you like, you know, my dad missed some of my soccer games, and you like, and that's why y'all don't talk, or like, that was it. That's all it took.
Yeah, because some people's standards are very different, you know, when it comes to parents, relationships with them, and things like that. And something that I've realized is that if you have a good relationship with your parents, consider yourself blessed, because a lot of people have very dysfunctional relationships with their parents and relationships that are absent. And the thing is, once you get older, maybe this is just me, this is just my personal opinion, as you get older, regardless of how shitty or how absent your parents were, at the end of the day, you know what your parent was? A human being. Right. And that's very hard for you to process, because as a child, children are always kind of taught that parents are these people that they're supposed to protect them and save them and love them and raise them and be there all the time. And everybody does not get to experience that in their lives. But parents are people. Parents make bad decisions, wrong decisions, fucked up decisions. They're flawed. They hurt people. They do all these things. And sometimes you might happen to be the recipient of it. Does it make it fair, right, or just? Does it justify their actions? No, but it's the reality of it. Parents are people.
That's why you got to be gentle with people who are experiencing that type of loss of, you know, like a father figure like that. I know Kevin Samuels died, and you know, a lot of these brothers, that was their daddy, you know.
Somebody got a tattoo.
Yeah, somebody got a tattoo. I saw people with necklaces. I mean, apparently, you know, being your kid's life is what I'm saying, y'all. It's just, it's not they gonna be 45-year-old men being raised by Kevin Samuels
or Bill Cosby or R. Kelly.
We can't have that, y'all. We need better. Chris, also like the play you were in, Lehman Brothers. I'm hearing scuttlebutt that it may have been nominated for some awards. Is this true?
8 Tony nominations.
8. Oh,
come on,
Tony! You know,
that's 5 more Tonys than Tony. Think about
that. Right. It's it was great to be a part of that. That was one of the things that my dad was behind, like my mother too. But you know, it's a relationship that, you know, between a father and a son, it's a little different, and like a mother and a daughter would be. He made sacrifices so that I could be there, so I could be on stage and not have to worry about certain things that other people probably had to worry about. You know, it was I broke down crying when I saw it, because I was about to leave my mother, and I was leaving, and it popped up on New York Times app, popped up and said the Lehman trilogy 8 I was like, wow, I just broke down like like Jordan when he won the
right, was holding the trophy. And was
And
that
my
like
mother was,
didn't Randy Brown try to like take it from him or some shit? It's like
yeah,
get
yeah.
away from him.
It was cool to be a part of that, because you see other people celebrate other people's wins and they be adjacent to shit, and it's like you wasn't even. But I was like, look, I just got done taping a Patreon episode. I said, look, I was in the show. I had to audition. I paid $500 a month to park in the city to go to the play. I'm posting about that shit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You listen. You let Game Theory win an award. I won that award too. I don't even give a fuck. I didn't work a second there, but as far as I'm concerned, we won it.
But it's things that you do, like, hold on, it's the things that you did, Karen, behind the scenes that allowed Rod to get to do and thrive up in New York like he did.
Right.
It's always people behind everybody's success. And you stand on the shoulders of giants, and underneath those people that are a part of the show, there's that your mother, your father that's holding everything else up. And it's some, you have to recognize that. And I even said when the show opened, the day that the show opened, I cried on the phone with my parents and just thanked them for everything, to just get to that point to where I could be a small part of that. Sam Mendes, Oscar-winning director, Tony Award-winning director, all these people, so I could be on that stage. So it does take a village, when you have that support, you feel like you could do anything.
Also, I mean, one, if you would have been fucking up, you might have been the reason they didn't get the shit, right? Like think about it that way. Like everybody always like and also there are no small parts. There's just parts that get paid less than the other parts. Right. But all the parts are required to make the shit work, because it really, it's like when you go to a restaurant, the food could be great, but the waiter could fuck up. Now you don't go to that restaurant no more. So I think that's all part of it, man. Plus, I mean, nigga, the competition to even be a part of these things is so ridiculous, rigorous, man. And to make it there on your own merit, your own credit, to go out there with your own talent and get on like that, bro. You can't downplay that. And I was glad to see you post that and to celebrate that. And honestly, that's one of those things where everybody that's rooting for you, we want to see you be like to celebrate that success,
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's just like we talk about, like getting it out the mud. Like when I heard that term, like on the homies on All the Smoke, even though they can be toxic at times, but everybody's
who isn't at this point?
I am too.
Everybody got some of that in them. They need to purge
out. Shout out to that new Kendrick.
I know, man. Like that's what it's. Hopefully we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we
will.
But it's that thing where it's just like, that's how I had to get it. Everything that I got, and I had to work for it. And it's because of my parents' love that I was not afraid to fail. I said, well, my mom and dad love me, so I'll be okay. And I think, it's kind of like just where it's just like at the point where I can do that because I know I have that love. So if I get this thing, it'll be great. If I don't, I'll be okay. But it's just the way that you find out how the game is already rigged. And it's not really in your favor once you get in and you hear certain stories like, oh, that's how you got in. That's right. And it's like, I can look at myself in the mirror and say, hey man, I got it. I came to New York City not knowing anybody.
Right.
And it was certain people that took a chance on me. And I was able to make it to a certain point of, where I'm still an unknown comedian and actor, day player and all that shit. But I be getting that shit, man.
Right. Absolutely.
So it's like to come, because I remember a conversation I had with my dad. I probably talked about it on your show before or on my pod, where it was just like, my dad, we were talking, he's like, you're doing it in New York City. That's the hardest place, one of the hardest places to do it, to make things happen. And it's just, I think it's just because of that love and support that they had for me, I was able to navigate navigate it a little easier.
Yeah, it's definitely. I know when I was up in there, on the drive from the Uber from LaGuardia to the Airbnb, and just looking at around at the city and stuff, it was like, oh man, this is like I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, and it felt cool because it's like, my talent brought me here. This like what my work brought me here. This path I've been on in life has brought me here, and it's like I was in the Uber getting an overpriced ride from some
the first hustle
from some vaguely foreign guy, and then I was listening to like Alicia Keys and Jay-Z in my headphones.
But that's what it's about. I'll even go indie nerd, hip hop nerd. I'll say that Mos Def record, Traveling Man, where he said, because it's the reason that we came here, the fortune, not the fame here, whatever. He just got like he said, what does he say? He says like easily something when he talks about you be struggling and striving and they think you prime timing it. Like it's a different. Everybody knows, everybody sees like the show. They see it's like the duck swimming and you see him like calm, and then the feet are going underwater, but you don't see that. That's like a lot of what show business is, and it's like to get to these certain points in your life and your career. It's a lot of people don't see that, and I try to demystify that on my podcast, because if my podcast is anything, the small production that it is, it's the journal of somebody that's like trying to get it out the mud, trying to say, I got this training, I do this, and I got this part on this show, or like Friday I did this audition that was like for one line on a popular Black show.
Okay.
It's just a little small part, but it was just like I did the audition, turned it in, and they said, they put a pin in you, and that means that they want to use you or something. But until I sign contracts, until I'm on set, I'm not gonna say shit.
Yeah. Don't like it's that thing where it's like if it don't happen, it don't mean nothing. But at the same time, it still happened.
Yeah,
the world didn't see it, like kind of transitioning a little bit. That was one of the things about the Kendrick that I like so far, is how much of it's about like what we manufacture and show each other versus what is real, and what is, and how we've had to move that shit away from everyone else. I feel like my text messages be having more real people's real opinion than like they Twitter feeds and they Facebooks and all that stuff. And I think a lot of people, obviously I'm still listening, still, figuring out different things, but I think a lot of people were kind of really rejecting the album on a surface level. Like, he said bitch or something. He said the F word, that kind of shit, rather than like what is he trying to say with it. And I think, that's one of those things where like we don't see the struggle, the lack of confidence. We don't see the working things out. We don't see the the grief, even unless it's manufactured to show people like here's me, like I think we all, at least Gen X people, I think we all had that same feeling when you see someone uploaded a video of them crying and you're like, so you recorded that and then you edit and you send and then you put a caption and then you put it on the internet.
I mean, you put your own crying tears.
Now you're watching everyone react to it, because I think Gen X, we learned, like, I think was like, your feelings ain't important, man, just to go to work. So but I think it's interesting to see, like, that's one of the reasons I like Mundane Festival. It's one of the reasons I think we click is, when we sat down and talked in New York, I was like, oh cool, finally I can just like say shit. like I don't have to be filtered and be like, all right, and this is what it's like, man, this shit is wild. Let me tell you about this. Let me tell you, like, I think that's something that Kendrick tried to get through an album. Which it's impossible to get it and have everybody approve of it, but I fuck with it so far, and partially because he did seem to anticipate, like, I'm just gonna say some real shit. This is the process I'm in right now, And if people don't fuck with it, that's fine. But at least I was the only honest motherfucker out here.
Yeah.
Right. And I think for me, this is how I feel about Kendrick. I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan. I actually really enjoy his work. The thing about Kendrick, and this is just how I view his music, Kendrick music has always been dense. And I don't mean that in a
Yes.
bad way, but his music has always been dense, no matter if it's, what the topic is or whatever. It's been dense. It's always has been something that you have had to listen to several times. It's always been something where you actually have to listen to sometimes for months on end. And every time you listen, you find something new. His songs I had listened to in years. If I go back, I'll find something new. A lot of his music requires work. And I'm trying funny. A lot of his music, in my opinion, requires critical thinking. A lot of it does. And I think a lot of people, when they hear Kendrick music, they go, is the beat banging? Do I, and so it's very, like Roger said, very surface level shit. And you can tell by some of the critiques that it's, oh, you talking about therapy, nigga? Nah. Oh, you talking about trying to do better? You talking about real shit? Nah. What you talk? Why we ain't talking about getting high? Why we ain't talking about these bitches? Why we ain't talking about these hoes? And I think for a lot of people, they reject that. For various reasons.
Well, it's funny though, because like Kendrick still talks about that shit.
He does, yeah.
And always has. So
right.
I think the real issue for a lot of people, it reminds me of when Humble came out. I think it was Humble. And he had that bitch, it's like something like Show Me Something Natural, like Afro or Richard Pryor, Show Me Something Natural, like ass with some stretch marks. Still will take you down on your mama's captain polo socks. And people were saying, like, praising him to be like, look at him, he's like one of the few rappers that's like, I want a natural woman, and he's talking about da da da. And I remember Ray Sani being like, that's still misogynistic though, and I'm like, yeah, every rapper I listen to is misogynistic.
Yeah.
I think the difference is like the fans of Kendrick, and this happens with all stan culture, like same with J. Cole, same with Drake, are the ones that would like feel like they need to defend him. And so like he different. He's not misogynist. He's not this. And one of the things that's dope about this album, especially like the song Savior, is this whole idea of like, hey man, I'm not. Like, I don't have this shit more figured out than anybody. I think to some extent the album's kind of sad because it's like this realization he's having of like, I'm fucked up too. Here's how I'm fucked up. I'm telling y'all, I'm in therapy. I fucked up my relationship with my fiance. I'm doing all this inner work, and he kind of saying like, don't be waiting on me to save you, leave me behind, because I can't save anybody. I can't even save myself. And it's like kind of a sad album. A little bit reminds me of Charity Starts at Home, where my reaction to it was like, oh man, like this is so sad. I don't even know if I want to listen to this, but I'm 43 now. So it's like I've gone through enough shit to be like, oh man, that's sad, but there's valuable lessons to be learned and things to be mined here.
I think you're both absolutely right. I think, Karen, you hit the nail on the head, because I just got done saying on my show where I think Kendrick is a more accessible version of like a Pharoah Monch, where you think like somebody that's really dense, and it's like you really have to have your thinking cap on. And Kendrick, I just think, I don't know, like Rod, I think you joked when the album first came, you're like, I didn't even hear it yet, and I think it's a classic.
Yeah.
But when I first heard, like, when it was like, I hope you fly, I was like, it's a classic.
Yeah.
Like, he uses production like Infinity Stones. He's a fucking genius. And I don't think we could get this album if we didn't have the other ones. And he's been talking about the same stuff for years, and it all just kind of coalesced into this thing where, well, he's talking about his dad, but his dad was on Good Kid, Mad City talking, throughout the whole thing. His mother was he's just opening himself up more. I mean, the more that I listen to it, it's just like, I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen anybody in hip hop that's like gotten this in the post 2000s who's just kind of 5 for 5. I don't
Mhm.
it's remarkable. Like I just think about
It is,
the way
Chris.
that he's in control of his instrument, like his
Mhm.
vocally just like, I mean, we've seen it with Black Thought, but it's just like I just feel like he's better than a lot of the people he looked up to when he
Oh,
was
for sure.
it's I don't think anybody's ever I really just don't think we've ever I'm Dan Lebitarding this like
Oh,
he's like he's
you
like Kendrick is like my Aaron Rodgers, but it's just like we've never seen anything like
anything like this. And the
yeah,
thing is, this is one reason why I understand how people as a consumer, people, because Kendrick is a product, don't get me wrong,
yeah.
but people consume things and people are always in a rush to get the new shit. It's a
Mhm.
reason why it took 5 years to get this. And I am fine with waiting. Like, as time went on, he started taking more breaks between the albums, which is actually a good thing. And, more, not some of your top artists has a tendency to do that because they was like, look, that first album took however many years to get here. If I was 18, 21, this is a 21-year thing in the making. That's completely different. After that, you have 2-3 years. Like, it's not the same. And so I am glad that he took the time to give us this album because I think anything short of that, we wouldn't have got this particular album.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also he's also doing a lot of like inner work and shit.
Yeah.
So it felt like he used his album as a therapy session. And the thing for a lot of people that I think they're missing is he didn't want to be fake and do the like he had some radical honesty shit in here that people keep in the therapy session. You know what I mean? Because everyone's so used to this manufactured, like, I'm a finished product thing. I think it's one of the reasons everybody keeps getting like food and taken over. Like we see it all the time. Like every month there's a new like this motherfucker's a scammer, type of thing. And it's because to come through and look like a finished product and to unveil like the parts that just everyone will clap for is the easiest shit right now. Like, it's the reason it's like I said, it's the reason you constantly see people be like, I thought so and so was a good person. It's like because they only showed you the good parts, or they only told you what you already agree with and want to hear,
right?
And they don't show you a process. They don't show you like the flaws in the workout. And I think a big thing for Kendrick has been it's ironic that not ironic he did it on purpose, but like the way he's kind of picking on himself, calling Mr. Morale, and then you see like he's been this moral dude since like Section 80, where it's like a lot of like because it's always been a lot of religion, a lot of like kind of judgment and on high, and like I like a little bit I'm above the mess, like I'm in the mess, but let me tell y'all the solution for the mess. This is what we need to do. This is what, oh, y'all out here drinking, y'all gotta stop fucking with that alcohol. Oh, y'all doing it, that kind of thing, while still being human and showing all that. I think this is the first time that he's like, especially that stuff that happened with his fiance, like he's holding this L. And like he talks about basically he had writer's block for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then like this is the result, and he doesn't look at his phone for 6 months at a time and shit. Now, like, this feels like the album of a person that was like, this is just my process. This is where I'm at in my process. And to some extent, like I said, it felt like a rejection of the savior narrative he's kind of had in the past, which is ironic because like a lot of the imagery is him with the crown on his head and all that stuff, but the album is the opposite. Like
that's the thing. You're absolutely right, because that's why Savior was the most surprising record for me, because I was like, oh, I thought you were trying to be that dude. But even though like it's like Will Smith when he pre-slap, but when he was doing these movies, like, why are you trying to be Jesus? Like, just tell a story. Just tell us, so you don't have to be a savior and all that. And when he said, I was like, oh, and then that's why I put that tweet, like, okay, he's the only rapper, really one of the few black celebrities that's not afraid to question Kyrie. Like,
yeah,
Kyrie Irving is this untouchable. What? Like,
yeah,
out of all the people, he should shut up and dribble. Like, it's just
yeah.
like
It's so funny because like I like when LeBron didn't say anything and like
yeah,
people got mad that Kareem said something. I was just like, oh man, is Kyrie more influential than I thought? Or I thought if someone just did something like this, we could all just be like, hey man, come on, dude. And it didn't have to be like you didn't have to like personally go after him, but just like
Yeah.
come on, man, that dude is tripping.
yeah,
I didn't think that was a big deal, but I mean, you see people all the time now question Stephen A. Smith's blackness based on just the fact that he's like, Kyrie should at least come to work. That seems like
The bare minimum.
that seems like a rational thing to do.
She didn't go to work, Kyrie. Come on, dude. Like that's why I was just like, okay, so now because you think about the smash hit, like, all right, and he says I'm fucked up. We all whatever he says.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, now you're just showing. Now you're peeling. It's like one of the. It's where it was there all the time. Like I remember because what a lot of people don't get. I guess like I'm in a safe space, but like I like to go to Genius and look stuff up. I want to know who the big steppers are. You know, I like to hear I like to see what people are saying and to gather this information. I mean, part of my bachelor's was in communication journalism. You want to piece stuff together and formulate your own.
I mean, I want to see him be interviewed about it and asked about it.
Yes, me too, of course.
I think there are things on here that I'm making assumptions about because we haven't heard from him, and it'll probably be a while before he explains it. The same thing happened with the last couple albums, where it will go like a month or two, and then he does an interview and kind of talks about some of the themes in the album. But
yeah,
because like one of the main things I keep seeing people bring up is Kodak Black's on the album, and Kodak Black was the guy that was sexually assaulted somebody when underage girl sounds so even like I don't know, it's such a weird term, but he sexually assaulted a minor when he was I forget what age. I don't remember how old he was, but the point being, people are like, why is he even on the album and all that stuff? Number one, we don't listen to him, so
yeah,
like already like there's it's kind of reminds me of XXXTentacion dying, and all the people my age were like, this is disgusting, how can he even do that? And we loved Tupac, right? You know what I mean? Like, and it's like we wouldn't have love for this person anyway to feel conflicted. It's easy for us to throw these people away. We're out of that age group where we would look at somebody and feel that way. I think Kendrick's like 34 or something, but the thing it made me think about with Kodak that I kept wondering is if a lot of the theme of this album is about freeing yourself from these cycles and these demons and all this shit. And as a person that talks about his mom being sexually assaulted, a person that brings up R. Kelly multiple times on here, and not to defend him, but like brings him up as like this dude did this shit, and what something happened in his life that made we know that he was a victim of being molested. Kendrick even brings up the fact that his cousin was accused of molesting him at 5, and his mom didn't believe him. And he later finds out his mom was sexually assaulted in Chicago when she was younger, which is probably why she didn't believe him. And he talks about watching his mom have been abused and then not be able to do anything about it at 5 years old. So it felt a little bit like he was trying to say, I'm fucked up, you're fucked up, that Christian, like, and then this is the freedom and the redemption for all of us. And breaking the cycle is not seeing myself as only a victim of this person, or not seeing this person as only an abuser, but seeing people as a sum of their parts and the things that lead them to the decisions that they make. And like I said, whether it works for you or not, that's on you. But that is very much in Kendrick's wheelhouse. Yeah, like as far as things he's been talking about for years, and and telling people's complicated stories and talking about the hypocritical morality of, worshiping people that kill people and rape people and gang violence and all that shit while also being a victim of it. So I don't know, it felt very in his wheelhouse, but I think online, our generation of people only see Kodak Black and these dudes as disposable because we're not fans of them in the first place.
Right. And also it's one of the things too, where piggyback on something Chris says, throughout Kendrick's albums, He has always said that, y'all, I'm fucked up. I remember when was the rap, he had that conversation with a dude had called him, and Kendrick was like, look, they put their hands on my family member. I'm gonna go fucking fuck them up. It's like, you know, you hear that stuff and people just rapping along to it, but the whole time he been going, hey, y'all are putting me on a pedestal that I didn't really actually be put on, but y'all put me there, so I'm going to accept it because you guys placed me there. And then once he got there, he realized, hey, I'm here, y'all. This is cool. Y'all can follow me, but just know I got problems too, and I got issues too. And this has kind of been laid throughout all his shit. But I think so many people are just, I will continue to say this, that MLK Martin syndrome, where we got to find the next Black Messiah, Alita syndrome, we have that. And so for a lot of people, it was Kendrick this time. For some people, it's Kendrick. It's like, well, hey, I know I can go to Kendrick. And so Kendrick has been saying, okay, cool. But y'all do know I'm fucked up. I am fucked up, y'all. I hope y'all realize that I'm fucked up. And everybody go, oh, whatever. We see your flaws, whatever. But in this album, he going, no, for real, y'all. I'm fucked up. I'm gonna show you. I'm not gonna rap about it. I'm not gonna just say I'm fucked up and not give you any evidence of my fucked upness. I'm gonna say I'm fucked up, and here are all the ways that I'm fucked up. So now you can see that I am just as flawed as you.
Yes, it's it's interesting because and the song you talk about is XXX on Damn, where it's like you like as good as I'm trying to be, if y'all put y'all hands on one of my family members, I will fucking kill you. And I got that in me. And there's lyrics on this album where he talks about basically like the things that composed him, and then the things and how that made him react, and how he's just now coming to grips with like what the fuck that means and what that has. Like, you know, he's talking about being in therapy and shit. I mean, at the beginning of the album, I think he even says like, I've been going through something. And you're like, oh shit.
For 5 years.
For 1,185 days.
I looked it up. I was like, how much time I divided that? I was like, oh, 5 years. Wow.
I'm like, okay, so something happened, and it just seems like he's in the process of it. I think honestly, like that's one of the reasons I really like, one of the things that really made me think about social media was how much people were either finished products, quote unquote, and if they weren't, they were punished for it.
Right.
And I was like, that's not a reflection of my life. And when I started having people in my life that I met through social media, and that's how they treated people in real life, it made me be like, this isn't what I want at all. Like, I need a friend that if I fuck up, they could be like, hey, you fucked up, man, but it's cool. Like, I don't need a friend that's like, Rod fucked up, and I'm making a 12-page tweet about it, and I
fucked up a thread.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, right.
I'm going live right now. Just left Rod's house. He fucked up, everyone.
Right.
And I think that's something that art is missing now. Like even, and I think also because of the buzzwords around it and the assumptions that we make to some of these words, because like he uses the term cancel culture, he uses the term politically correct, basically saying people are afraid to express opinions, and people are taking it into the like Joe Rogan level of like, this nigga must be. But he didn't say any of that. Just that literally people are afraid to. And I think if you don't feel that as a creative, if you're not being honest about that, then you're lying. Like if you're putting out a podcast, you're thinking about how it's going to be received, how it will be taken out of context. You put out music, you're thinking that shit. You put out you do comedy, you're thinking about that shit. It's on everyone's mind. He's just one of the few people that like is saying it without even like trying, and not saying it on the like, and that's why I'm with the conservative people now. Like it's just like, people are afraid to look wrong or be wrong or look imperfect, and I want to make an album about being imperfect but trying to be good.
Yes, and that's very, very scary for a lot of human beings. And nobody wants to be quote unquote on the Summer Jam screen. And not to get off topic, and we're still gonna stick to Kendrick, but this is why a lot of people keep coming out about Kevin Samuel, because it's one of those things where they go, hey, he was flawed, but you know, he dead. So, you know, don't really talk about him. And it's like, well, we have to talk about people in their totality, in their wholeness, in the life that they lived. And Kendrick is like, look, this is the life that I lived. I'm putting it on display. I'm not perfect. and don't put me on this pedestal and then be disappointed when I don't live to your expectations. I don't know what your expectations are, fan, because you're not directly you're not directly in my life.
Yeah.
So,
Kevin
but,
Samuels, who was good in Atlanta, who was
I haven't seen the episode
Oh
yet.
my
I heard
God.
no, it's all good. I'm gonna watch it. I heard he was in it though.
Mhm.
But I gotta watch it before me and Bossy do our recap.
Yeah, I'm waiting for y'all to talk about it. That shit.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I heard it was a wild one. It was like one of the white anthology ones, right?
I it might be my favorite one
Oh, dope. I
of
can't
the
wait.
anthology for one particular
man.
moment, but we won't talk about that. Yeah, I think he's I think he's great, and I just love I think Kevin Samuels was amazing, and I just think, no, I
Big
really
fan. I got all his albums. I just got this tattoo, guys. I just got this tattoo.
It's fun that like you get to talk about something like this, a project that comes out with all the shit going on in the world, like to talk about a popular artist that delivers and you want to unpack it. I mean, I think that's fun. What's annoying is the people that never talk about music that are like have their opinion. It's just like this isn't for you. Just watch
You just gotta
something
honestly
else or listen to
like
something else.
that's actually like one of the things I picked up from the album that I like is just like, all right, then let them do their thing. Fuck
Yeah,
'em.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't actually
like,
don't care.
like so much of this album is basically like, that's fine. Like I put this out, like that's my new thing. I like that's what I actually love about Atlanta this season. The anticipation of the criticism and being like, yeah, I know what y'all gonna say.
Yeah.
Like I'm ahead of y'all because I anticipated because I'm smarter than y'all. So
Yeah.
while you surface level going through my shit, let me tell you what the critique you're gonna have is. Like, I don't know if you've seen season 3 Atlanta descriptions of episodes.
Yeah, they're really funny.
But like Donald Glover and them clearly were like, this is what the fuck the people that hate us are gonna be talking about. And that was actually really fucking smart because it does kind of take a little bit of the wind out of themselves when you read that shit and you're like, let me guess, y'all's critique of this episode is it was boring. All they did was walk around Amsterdam. They fake deep. Oh, well, interesting because that's what the fuck the description of the episode is.
I watched that South by Southwest that Bossy was talking about in the last week's episode, and it was really good. It kind of shone a light on it. I mean, they weren't like spoiling anything, but just like these are the conversations we have in the writer's room. We talk about this, we have this in these threads, and we distill it into the show. You know, like that's and they know what they're doing. And they're putting out stuff that they want to see. And it's just like, if I like Donald Glover and his team, this is what they wanted to put out. I'm happy with, it's like, this is what they wanted. It was unfiltered in the way, they weren't constrained by anything. So it was like, this is what they want to put out. I'll consume it. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. But I know that that's what they wanted the message they wanted to put across. So I'm good with it,
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Art's having a moment with that, and which makes sense because like I feel like a lot of art for the last few years has been so heavily policed, you know what I mean? Because we want like, especially after the advent of social media, we don't just want to listen, we want to like control how you are. Like,
right, and that artists aren't free when you do that.
Yeah, we want you to be right about everything, and by right we mean agree with whatever we're saying.
Yeah,
depending on who the listener is, which is absolutely impossible. One of my favorite lines on the album was when he talks about how he just can't please. I can't please everybody. So he's like, I think he says can't please everybody, can't even please myself. Love gonna get you killed. Like it's like it's like it's a certain level of just like, nah, man, I have to make the music that for me, and then if you fuck with it, you fuck with it. And I think podcasting wise, that was something I picked up a few years ago too. It's like I just need to make a podcast for me and Karen, and people will relate to it because we'll be probably the only motherfuckers that are talking, that are trying to be good and be real at the same time. Yeah. Like, we're not coming on here trying to be controversial. We're not coming on here.
That's not the purpose.
Trying to pander to people or whatever. I think that's like a big distinction. Like, because people will see what they want to see. Yes, so all is if you're being authentic. And I think authenticity is more sustainable because it's real, and being able to find that line where you can be like, where we can like question if maybe Black Lives Matter is spending the money. I don't know, like where we can say that and not have to be like, because we want to like go viral off of this moment, or we want to like shit on them, or we have some personal agenda. But like, it's one of the only places where I can say that and not feel like, you know, I gotta be fake, because if I'm being fake here, then what's the point of me doing this, you know?
And also for me, when it comes to music, and this is how I feel, and just a lot of art, social media, and a lot of people, I've realized this, and for me, it actually gets on my nerves because I feel like people aren't being real, well-rounded human beings. Art is supposed to make you feel. That's the whole purpose of art. Be it happy, sad, laughter. It's supposed to emote an emotion out of you. That's the purpose of the art. And when art is presented and people start feeling these things, these ways, be it triggered, be it childhood memories, be it trauma, like when these things come up, instead of people accepting the reality that, oh, this is me, let me figure out why I'm feeling this way, they lash out at the art and they blame the art, and they want to take the art down, and they act like the art has no right to exist because it made them feel a certain way. And you're like, no, you actually are stripping the art and the artist of these things, and the artist might have gone through the same thing that you're going through. And if you actually take the time to listen, I know for me personally, sometimes you actually take the time to listen, you can actually heal sometimes from the words that they're saying, because they're actually saying, hey dog, I've been through this, I know how you feel, like you're not alone. But people go, ooh, feelings, reject, jump out the boat, reject. And it's like, well, then you're never going to get to the point of healing. And every time this thing comes up, your response is going to be just like it happened yesterday. And that is not a healthy thing. And I realize, but also the internet rewards that. And so that's also why people stay stuck like that, because they're rewarded for that. You're not rewarded for growth. You're not rewarded for doing certain things and saying, here I am, I'm fucked up and I'm flawed. You're not rewarded. In fact, you're picked on. The things that we used to say was good, like love and honesty and having integrity, all it's like social media has made the world flip-flop, where you're rewarded for being grimy and being dirty and not being honest and getting over on people. Like that's what you're rewarded for. And so once people understood that, that's what they're pumping into the machine.
Yeah. I think also the thing for, at least with Kendrick, I always talk about this with Kendrick, Chance, and Kanye, how a lot of their albums are just religious albums, but there's just different perspectives. And like Kanye is very much, if God loves me, it don't matter who else loves me, because anything I do is approved by God, and that's where my power is. I am God, as far like that's how much it means to me. And then Chance is very much like, we need to, like, it's like the positive vibe of the youth pastor almost.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's youth pastor music.
And then
he is my friend.
Yes. And then Kendrick has always been this fire and brimstone like dude, and I always wondered where that came from, because like a lot of his shit is about like punishment and do this or God will punish you, we're going to get punished at some point. And it seems like a lot of that may have been because he was out there doing dirt, you know what I mean? Like cheating on his girl, you know, feeling like a hypocrite, obviously survivor's guilt of coming from Compton and all his homies dying and shit, and he made it out and he's rich, and even he's seeing the limits of what you can do for the hood, and kind of not wanting to be, kind of being like a reluctant savior figure apparently. You know, like I didn't know that until this album. I always thought he reveled in like being the guy to be like, y'all need to stop doing this and we need to do that. And apparently he's been like, he's been up there like, I think I'm supposed to say this, but I don't know that this is that. I don't even know that I can live up to this standard.
Right.
Were you Rod, did we review Good Kid, Mad City on Where's My 40 Acres together?
That's been so long ago.
It's been so long. I know we did Camp.
I know we did Camp. I don't remember if we did Good Kid.
Okay. I don't know. I just feel like it's it's like that Lupe Fiasco line on Superstar where he talks about like, did you improve on the design? Did you do something new? Like,
Mhm.
and it was just like we got one of the is it Saitama Black was saying that art pushes a society forward. And I think that's what Kendrick's trying to do. I mean, it's like we've kind of heard I mean, like Auntie Diaries, it reminds me of that record Common did off of Electric Circus that everybody hated, that the record with CeeLo, where it's like Between Me, You, and Liberation, where he's talking about like a woman who he's sleeping with who's sexually assaulted his aunt who had cancer, and then one of his close friends who's gay. But Kendrick just like distilled it into like, this is, and like the delivery reminds me of Commons too, where it's just like, I'm gonna tell you this, and then like the way, like I said, him being in touch with his instrument, and he gets louder and louder when he's talking about church and he's talking about the pastor, and so it's just like, it's fucking beautiful. And he's like,
it's so Auntie Diaries is so good because, and it's so funny, I saw this write up in OK Player that was kind of like saying this is why Auntie Diaries, it's good, but Kendrick has the way to go before he be a great ally. And I was like, but that's the thing.
Yeah, he's telling you.
The point is, he's like the imperfect messenger. The point wasn't like he could have wrote the essay the way that would have made it be like, oh, he passed, he got all the check marks, but that wouldn't have been his reality. His reality was, I was in second grade experiencing this, and here's how I saw my aunt who now, you know, who and you can see from the perspective with the pronouns, it was mixed to me. It was he, it was she. Sometimes it was people were calling her certain things, and then him, I was seeing him as a him in my eyes as a child, but you know, these things weren't like defined and talked about, and that's so fucking real because right now everything is, you need to have the correct language even if you're saying the wrong shit. And he's like, listen, I'm saying the right thing, but I don't necessarily know how to say it. And and I love the juxtaposition in the song of like, he's a second grader, he has his aunt / uncle, however you know, my auntie is a man now, blah blah blah. But he has his cousin who is about the same age as him, who also is affected by the way that Kendrick and people around Kendrick and the homophobia within the community and the transphobia within the community. And he's talking about how he learned to be somewhat of an ally, but it wasn't about the check mark of an ally. It wasn't, as he mocks later in the album, it wasn't just making a black screen on your Instagram. It was in real life standing up for somebody that you love. And then, you know, of course, that final lyric basically being like, yeah, you can say the F word if you let this white girl say nigga. And then it's like, oh,
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. And the thing is, the people that will be reached by that song, it's not the people that are coming down on him.
Right.
Because the people that are coming down on that, they quote unquote already know all that shit. They're better than that. They've been off of that, blah, blah, blah. So you don't need to hear that song. But there's a lot of motherfuckers I know who will hear that song and think twice, like, oh, you know, like, also, okay, and then also with it being Kendrick, they'll be like, well, if he said it,
right, they'll be more receptive to
then I can, then these feelings I have, these thoughts I've had, I can think about that more. I can say that differently, and I thought that was dope, man. You know, I think the album just is not necessarily for the Twitterati type of crowd.
Not. Yeah, you have to be able to accept it for what it is and say, oh, that song's not for me, but it's still a beautiful song. Like I personally didn't need to hear that, but it's like, but it's gonna touch somebody. It's gonna touch somebody that needs to hear it, and it's a beautiful song, man. It's just
I cry when I listen to Mother Sober.
Oh,
and then Mirror, like, because I was just like, God damn, like, one, because he's, like you said, his instrument is just he's fully utilizing it.
Yeah.
But then because there were things in the album I didn't really like, I was like, man, he's really out there this time. And then he does that part, and I'm like, oh, like you could almost listen to the album backwards and see how he got there. But
Yeah.
that joint was so like introspective, and I think, like I said, I'm not sure. I would love to see him be interviewed about it, but I really think even the stuff with Kodak Black on the album is a statement of like encapsulated in that Mother Sober of seeing everyone in this cycle that didn't really start with us. And how do you break that cycle? You got to forgive yourself. You got to forgive your mom. You got to forgive the person that abused you. You got to forgive all it. That's what I took from the album.
It's a process,
and that is so difficult and damn near impossible. You know what I mean? And you do not see people do that. Like, it's something when you hear people talk about when they talk about like criminal justice reform, and I always say, yeah, it's a fake conversation, because the people that propagate it, it's like more of a like finger wagging thing. But the truth is, people aren't ready for that. You know, not to switch subjects again, but you know, there was a shooting in Buffalo, New York, where this white supremacist went up there and killed like 10, maybe more at this point, black people. He like Googled like where the black people stayed the most, and went to the store and just started
3.5 hours away, drove almost 3.5 hours away to do
it. And I've already seen black people bemoaning, why was he taken alive? like the cops have, you know, they talked him down from shooting himself. He you know, and then people are like Dylan Roof taken alive, such and such taken alive. And I'm like, okay, but what you're really saying is you wanted them killed by the police. That's what you're really saying. And we're the same people that claim we want, you know, we want prison reform, we want to abolish the police, we want abolish prisons, we want everybody let out, we want restorative justice. And I'm like, these are the moments that call us liars, because this is the truth. The real us that want that motherfucker shot. I know I do.
Yeah.
I know when I seen Dylan Roof, I was like, kill him. You know, Mark Lamont Hill was talking about, I don't never believe in the death penalty. And I was like, well, that's good for you, bro, because the rest of us do. It's a democracy.
You're better than me.
Yeah. And congratulations on being better than me. You know what that gets you? Nothing. This nigga need to die, and I'll do it for you since you don't want to be the one to do it. You know what I mean? Gotta go. But it's just interesting to see how like these moments call us liars. And I think that was when we see somebody that's actually on that shit, like that's actually on some like, nah, man, I'm gonna do radical forgiveness, radical honesty, radical acceptance, radical whatever. And when we see that, it's like, I don't want that shit, nigga. That don't sound good. You need I like the fake shit. Just come and tell me the things I already believe and make it rhyme.
Right.
You know
that's
what
the
I mean?
whole purpose.
Yeah.
That's what some people want. They don't want anything beyond that. And they are rappers their whole career. They've been rapping about the same shit since they started, and they make their money, which is cool.
Some
people actually want, and some people do it really, really well, but that type of rapping ain't made for everybody. Some people are like, nigga, I want to see you grow. Like, you still rapping 10 years into the game, you still rapping about the same shit, nigga. You're not doing none of that.
Yeah.
Wow, subliminal shots at Pusha T, Karen. Jesus. We just said that this podcast wasn't
it is funny though.
Giving Karen
I do listen to Pusha T. It is funny though.
Great. I think Pusha T's fucking
it's so good. Yo, but also it is funny, right? That, and I think it's because of his fans, clearly. But it is funny that like Kendrick is the only dude in rap that people, Kendrick, maybe a little J. Cole, but people think, and Drake too. Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake. People always think they're doing something when they tell us these guys aren't perfect. Like, I don't know why. I just don't like, because they don't do that with anyone else. I've been listening to rap my whole life, man. My whole life. Even like the conscious rappers. I remember being a kid and listening to like Jazzy Bell with Outkast and being like, oh, damn, they are really going hard on these ladies. Same thing with you know, Black Star, like brown skinned lady is such a dope song, but it's also like extremely like, hey, ladies, close your legs. Mind Sex from Dead Presidents. And I remember Tribe Called Quest has this line I'll never forget, where Q-Tip, who's been talking about fucking women, the whole album is like, ladies, make a form on your sexual drive, devoted to your lover and make it thrive. I'm like,
Yep.
wait, what? You've been talking about fucking like Phife Dawg got a song where he's just talking about fucking different kinds of chicks in this song, in this album. So
yeah,
I think it's always been flawed, but for some reason people really think they like doing something to tell us this person's flaw. It's like, nigga, y'all listen to Future, y'all listen to shit. Half the fucking women I listen to that are rappers are like talking about some fucked up shit. Well, this is what rap is,
and it's guys doing it. It's not even women talking about it like that. It's just the same to say that you're like a, what is it, male feminist type thing. Yeah. Because it's like the Black Stars album came out a week or two ago, and they were like the misogyny of respiration, when Common says young girls with weak mind but their butts are strong or whatever.
Right.
It's just like, yeah, because that's kind of what they do. Like they're trying to be, they be saying they trying to be better, but they be talking that stuff, and we allow it.
I think if people were honest, they'd admit they don't always got it either.
No, I don't. You know, and it's one of those things where that's the beautiful thing about art, because people are complex, and I don't know why people don't think if they're complex in their life, complex people make music. So I love me some Don't Stop, Get It. I love me there's some holes in this house, like, and I love me that shit too. Like, you know, and people that like that's something wrong with you. And that's why, like, we were talking about the critique on the kids today. Like, who are we to critique them when we listen to some misogynistic shit too? It might be presented in a different manner. It might be a sing-songy thing versus just coming out and say it. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I saw one of the critiques of Kendrick I saw was a guy saying, well, when it was Tupac, you know, I was at a certain age, but now I understand this, that, and the other. And I find it unacceptable that Kodak Black is in. And I'm like, but that when someone was older than us, they thought you liking Tupac was unacceptable.
Right.
And you still like Tupac. Like, you didn't take that back. Like, you didn't go, and now I would never listen to a Tupac album. Like, no, you still fuck with Tupac. So, you know, like, you're not being real. And I think like, there's a level on this album where, you know, obviously you hope, because he's his own person, so we'll see when he explains this shit, if he does. You hope it's not some like ridiculous out there Hotepian type shit. I mean, Lil Tep, he
had to say Little Sebi reference.
He always been a Lil Tep from day one. He always been a Lil Tep. But like, you hope it's not some deep end shit, but because a lot of this stuff just feels like a person being honest for the first, like, with people in a time where people ain't honest, man. Like, that was just the main thing I took from this, was like, these are the things people are afraid to say, and I mean good and bad. It wasn't all bad. It was like, motherfuckers afraid to say I have trans people in my family and I love them, and I don't like, you know, like, I'm not with, and I didn't always understand it, but I love them and I stand up for them, and I might not have the academic words, and I shouldn't be talking about it in front of a crowd of people, but here's my song about it and what it means to me. I think that there's like a level of that, you know. We talked about having sex with a white woman for the first time, and you're just like, that is what niggas be thinking. And like, I don't think it's like some secret. I think people, they just don't say it, you know what I mean? And you're like, fuck, man, listen to this dude say these things that, like, instead of taking the lesson of like, instead of taking away from it, like, and that's why he ain't shit, I think people should have been taking it, and maybe we'll see how they do take it, but I think people should have been taking, like, damn, he one of the only motherfuckers that'll say it and not say it like, and that's why I'm the man. He said it like, and that's how I know I'm fucked up.
Yeah. Right. Well, I think Kendrick did on this album is like what I try to do with my stand-up, like the vulnerability, the openness, being able to look at yourself and look at the flaws, and I mean, there's some stuff on Field Running Back that's pretty good, guys. But it's stuff like where you try to look at you try to look within yourself, laugh at yourself, put it out there, and make it. Like it's a beautiful thing when those thoughts come out and people are able to do it. I mean, and it's a balancing act. It's a high wire act, and I really think, I just think he nailed it. And there's stuff to there's a lot of stuff that still you can to unpack, but it's just, as it stands right now, maybe 4 or 5 listens, that it's just like, it's great. I like the people are talking about it. I like it's just something fun to talk about. And
when's the last time you wanted to talk about an album with people like this? You know what I mean? We don't do a music show, and I listen to a lot of music. I don't like talking to people about it necessarily. But I woke up this morning, I was excited to have Chris on the show. I was like, oh, somebody I can talk to about this album that I'm still listening to and processing. Somebody that made it something that dope. My mom texted me the morning this shit dropped, like 8 in the morning, like new Kendrick out. This shit is a major event for those of us that are into this kind of music. So I appreciate it.
And the thing about Kendrick in this album and the last album, this nigga love these midnight East Coast droppers. Nigga, I'm old. When you be dropping this shit at midnight, I don't even press play until I go to work the next day, because I'm like, if I press play, I will be up to 3 or 4 or 5 in the morning. Like, nigga, I got to work. So and I feel so sad, because it's like you looking at the window with the Kermit watching everybody on your timeline have a good time. Like, you be like, honestly, I got to go to sleep.
It crashed. You didn't really miss it because he crashed iTunes and Spotify. I mean,
okay.
Luckily, I have Tidal.
I switched.
I got them both. But
I got them all.
Well, listen, okay,
I got them all. Whatever you drop it on, I'm gonna get it.
Okay, listen. The Game Theory check cleared. I got them both.
Okay.
So I was, but anyway, I was listening to a little bit of it, and I went to bed. And I woke up at like 5 in the fucking morning and just went in there and listened to the shit. And I'm like, it's like 5 in the morning. I'm like crying on the couch a little bit. Like,
that's why you was up, because I
grieve different.
I grieve different.
I mean, you start an album off like that. It's just like, okay, all right, buddy.
Yeah, that nigga, he's a beast, man. I'll let I'm sure people will be banging on it all week for not being perfect, but honestly, those people will go away, and the people that appreciate the music will be here, and we'll see. I still need to see him perform that motherfucking "We Cry Together" on tour. I need to see what that looks like live.
Now that's a triggering. As great as my dad was, there were moments that him and mom, I just like, it sounds like my mom and dad when I was in junior high.
Shout out to Taylor Page.
Yeah, it's great. It's very good, but it's just like, okay, I could skip that.
I love it. I understand
it. I understand.
It reminds me so much of how niggas argue all day on Twitter. It's when I saw people listening to it live, it's one of the first times I've ever really seen them people acknowledge they sound like that. Because like I'm not into that. Like I'm a big me, man. I love harmony. I don't cherish this shit where like we need to argue with black women and we need to make everybody a macro example of like micro shit or whatever. But nigga, if he didn't nail what the fuck it be sounding like, I'm like, and then the thing that's funny is people being like, he said this, like they were cherry picking from lyrics to be like, look at this problematic thing he said, and I'm like, what about the response from Taylor Page, which he also wrote because she's not a rapper, y'all. She's just performing his parts of the line, you dummies. Anyway, let's move on, guys.
Wait. Can I say one more thing? Can I say one more thing about it? The greatness of this. It's like, I got to go back to Pimp a Butterfly, and I know there's elements of like the theatricality in this one, like comparing it to like theater wise, like, and then the cinematic nature of Good Kid, Mad City, the way that he's just able to, I don't know, I'm just gushing about it, but I just think it's great. He's a genius.
It is, and that particular album right there, the first time for me, but I'm like Roger, like I know that I'm art and I'm an oddball. Like I can't take that. I don't like that in any of my relationships. If we got to do that, bitch, why are we together?
Right.
Like that's how I personally feel. Like I'm not a kid. You're not hollering at me. I'm not 5. You don't own me. Yeah. And I think that when I first heard that, you know what, I thought I was gonna hear a gunshot. And so, like, when I was hearing it for the first time, my heart literally started racing, because it's like it hits your ears, but you're like, okay, what are we arguing? How is this gonna end? Is this gonna end violently? Like, I was like I felt like I don't want to say a panic attack, but it was like, okay, where we going with this? Okay, somebody gonna get fucked up. Okay, somebody gonna die at the end. Am I gonna hear the ambulance? Like that's where my heart started going the first time I heard that.
Yeah. It's like they unmuted the beginning of those R&B videos.
Yeah, yes. And
like
then also, you want to know what's funny though? The part of the song I do want to skip is when they start getting ready to fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's the part that I'm like, all right. And it reminds me of when I got
Baby Boy.
It reminds me of when I got Intro's album. And my aunt was I was listening to it in the car with my aunt for the first time, the tape, and it's like
the extended version.
I had only heard the radio version of Let Me Come Inside, not the 1 minute and 50 seconds of audio intercourse that
if you let me
that ends that song. And now I'm just sitting in the car awkwardly with my aunt and my mom, hoping that this like
shit ends,
wishing for any amount of just like, can we move the fuck on? And the answer was no. We couldn't move the fuck on. They were taking their sweet ass time. That song is 8 minutes long.
Wow.
The album version, while like the radio
3 tops 4.
Yeah, like the radio version was like 2 or 3, like maybe 3 or 4 minutes.
Right.
But that like the last 30 is just like fucking. And it's,
yes,
so,
it is.
So like ever since then, I think I've been triggered. I've been traumatized by that. So anytime I hear an album where they start doing some sex shit, I always am like, let me just
it's a little it's just a little weird.
Yeah, Biggie had multiple getting my dick sucked, fucking in the back of a car.
Like, good for you, buddy.
Noriega.
Do that.
I'm glad somebody getting it in, but it don't mean I got to listen.
On NRE, there's a dick sucking part, and I'm just like, nope, I don't want to listen to this. Why are you doing this? All right. Speaking of Taylor, she's dating Jesse Williams.
Yes.
Now, as an actor in plays. How do you feel about the Jesse Williams nude Broadway leak? I know Actors Equity Association called it sexual harassment. I've seen a lot of hypocritical Black women that claim to be about more than this, that immediately said fuck that. I'm seeing some dick and I likes it. And they said they became savages. So like, how do you feel about it as a person that's been on stage and like, what does that mean? Like that they did that.
You shouldn't do that. It's
right.
supposed to be a sacred space.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, for people to be comfortable to share what they want to share. And I think just get a ticket if you want to see it.
Yeah, right.
Support the actors, support the people that are performing, and it's a good play.
Wasn't that kid from Harry Potter in a play Equus or something where he had full frontal nudity? And
I believe so.
Like, I don't think the news leaked from that. Like, it seemed like, I mean, maybe they just seen the dick and they just they couldn't help themselves. Like, I gotta get a picture to share with the world. But it seems like a very fucked up thing to do. It reminds me a lot of when the news would leak and everybody was shaming people when it was the fappening and it was all these women's news. But then like men's news leak and it's like the timeline can't wait to share them, and you're like, y'all ain't shit either. Stop trying to act like you better than everybody else, because when it was motherfucking Serge Ibaka, y'all could not wait to put that dick in everyone's face. Talking about unsolicited nudes. Them nudes was all over the place. Nobody had to solicit them.
I've been missing the dick pics, and I'm glad.
Oh, go ahead. She was saying that full frontal nudity is an integral part of the story, though. I think, like, and then she says he was doing the show's been running for a while now, but it is a part of the story. Like, there is a shower scene in the play, and I mean,
but I don't think the amount of time it took to leak matters. I think
it's wrong.
We're saying somebody,
I wouldn't want them to do it for a woman either. If it was somebody that
that's the thing that's That's the thing. If it was a woman, it would be reversed.
Yeah.
Like I don't think men or women are better than each other. I just think they're equal opportunity pieces of shit. And this is, of course, a very cis heteronormative conversation we're having. But it just would have been, I'm attracted to this person, I'm going to share this. And it seems fucked up regardless of, you know, how it happens. But I think a lot of times
what's wrong with
that can make you slap somebody.
I think a lot of times that's really what it comes down to.
I mean,
have a big dick.
Rest in peace.
And people act like something was wrong with him for being angry. I'm like, I'd have been mad too. Like, yes, he got the right to be mad because this is not something that he expected to be out.
Yeah, he even said like he's not that upset about it, but he just recognized it.
They said he had a third leg.
Right, he's like, I'm not that upset about it, but it is fucked up. Like it wasn't.
It is very fucked up.
Yeah, he didn't say like, I'm not that upset about it, I got a big dick. He was like, nah, it's fucked up. Like,
got a Kevin Samuel approved big dick.
Right. Speaking of other light-skinned black people, allegedly, Sean King disputes. What happened? What, Karen? Come on.
Why am I the problem? Because I say, oh no.
Grow up over there, okay?
No, I will not.
I'm talking about activism, Karen.
Okay.
Sean King disputes clothing line, gives clothing line being called a scam after orders reportedly went unfilled. Activist Sean King's private clothing brand, A Real One.
Oh, so it was a real brand?
A real one. He's a real nigga.
I thought talking about the brand. My bad.
The name of the brand is A Real One.
Oh, that's the name of the brand.
Okay.
Oh, this is about the internet being on the internet statement. My bad. You got to explain to me. I don't be knowing.
A Real One is the name of the brand. It has been accused of scamming customers after it took to Twitter and Instagram. Many took to Twitter and Instagram, wondering why they haven't received their orders 8 months after the company's launch.
Who he think he is, Big Baller?
That's almost a pregnancy, bro.
Yeah, almost. He and look, I mean, if you order something from Sean King at this point, I mean, I hate the victim blame, but come on. King, who rose into the public eye to start a Black Lives Matter movement, started a private clothing brand that launched September 2021. I'll tell you this, that man always got a business cooking. Okay, that man starts him a business
in a heartbeat.
While the rest of y'all hating, he over here getting them articles of incorporation together. The Clothing King,
lots of LLCs and S corps happening over there under his name.
The Clothing King advertised on his Instagram is 100% organic, black owned from the seed to the shipping and everything in between, deeply purposeful. How black owned shipping? Is there a black owned shipping company?
It might be.
I didn't even know.
I don't know. It probably is.
Black owned shipping.
You know how big they are, but you know it's somewhere right around here.
Okay, you got Send Me Express. You got a Lucky Find Logistics LLC.
Come on through, Lucky's.
Global Principles Logistics.
We be in everything.
Owens International. Anisi Transportation. Okay, so I guess some such. Maybe he used one of these. I don't know. Or maybe the UPS. Maybe the US stands for us. You know what I mean? Anyway, he told Newsweek in an email that the accusations against the clothing line being a scam are not true. He said, we had nearly
got they shit and they didn't. What are we talking about?
He said we had nearly 3,500 orders and shipped every order, all of them, some 2 to 3 times. Out of those 3,500 orders, about 150 people moved or had shipping problems. For those 150 people, we resent the orders. We reset the orders or process refunds. 2, we just emailed our entire customer base to ask any customer that might have fallen through the cracks to email us. 2 people replied saying they wanted exchanges or refunds for orders they had trouble with. 2. Out of those 3,500, we had about 75 to 100 customers who had errors in their email addresses or phone numbers that may be hard for us to reach. When we then run those potential customers with errors up against all the other orders that were delivered, we don't see a single customer left with a contact info error that hasn't received the order. Still, we are standing by to help any customer that has a single issue or problem. Their website advertises t-shirts and hoodies that come in a few select colors and designs, one of which depicts a photo of King smoking a joint on the front. The hoodies that with that specific design are sold for $165.
Who wants
What
that?
kind of cotton is that made out of?
Weird, man.
That must be that high quality cotton.
It's like you said, Rod. At this point, if you're still buying his shit, or I mean, Thurgood partial.
That cotton better feel like silk. $150, my nigga.
Change the entire supply chain. You can shop. You got the black hoodies. They all say like a real one. You got, oh man, this picture is not even. This is
Oh my god. Who?
Oh man. Who's rocking? I mean, I might buy it ironically. I think it would be cool to show up with a Sean King hoodie to like
wear it to a bar in Williamsburg.
Yeah. Now the shirts are very priced high, $65.
What?
Yeah,
Is that a hand? Is it a beefy tee? What kind of?
Yeah, no, it's black. It's black on, dog. This is
oh, it's a black. Okay.
Yeah, this is a real one on the label. It says large.
What's the character in Atlanta that they said was supposed to be him?
I forget his name, but yeah, the English bloke. He also got some just regular tees with no logo that cost $50.
What?
Bitch, what?
Yeah,
I can get that. I can get that at Tajay.
By the way, the relaxed t-shirt with Sean King organic white prototype sold out.
Who bought it? Did he buy them all? Who bought them?
Karen, if I'm being honest, white people probably.
A
lot of allies.
Okay.
A lot of allies.
My bad. I'm like, who is buying that?
Well, I mean, this is what I was saying with the Kendrick. It's just something I've come to a realization, man. I feel like I've always been this way, but I'd rather be with somebody that says the right shit the wrong way than somebody that says the right shit and then be doing wrong shit. You know what I mean? Like it's easy to fake this shit. Like people keep
it is.
At this point, I have nothing but respect for Sean King's hustle because like at this point,
it's on fleek.
He's able to just say the right things, and if you're fucking with him, you're just easily fooled by someone saying the right thing.
Yeah.
What can I say? Y'all falling for it. It's not my problem.
I mean, he got a market.
I victim blame in this case.
Yeah. So yeah, they TV comedian personality Ashley Ray wrote, "Hello, it's been 8 months since Sean King launched a private clothing line that sold $165 hoodies. There hasn't been an update since October. The entire Instagram has been deleted, and the last existing comments were people saying they still hadn't gotten their orders." Oh man. She went on to discover that the Instagram account for the brand was still active. Oh, so she was lying, but had blocked her from viewing the account. Oh, well, maybe she don't know what she's talking about. Laugh my ass off. Sean King really blocked me on Instagram on his main account, all his scam side hustles accounts. That's so thorough. While several users commented they had received their items, many others claimed they hadn't. So I don't know. Sound like a regular rollout. Some people got it, some didn't. But yeah, I know what I'm getting for Christmas.
What?
Sean King hoodie, Karen, with his face on it.
Not if you take 3 trimesters, you're gonna miss Christmas. I'm sorry, that'll be a 2023 baby.
Cancel Christmas, Rod.
I thought I was gonna be able to do something.
Hilarious.
All right, let me see how long we've been talking. Oh, hour 23 minutes. All right, let me get into some stuff that Chris wants to get into. Okay, guys, we've been talking for a while, but we really need to get into some white people news.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Everyone knows this is,
we got somebody that know people versus me and Roger. Guessing. I don't know. Do you know?
We'll find out.
White people news. We're bringing egg salad to the barbecue. We might be problematic or a little bit dim. The sun's really harsh on our fragile faces. White people news.
All right, let's talk about these white people news. Alec Baldwin and wife Hilaria enjoy quality time with their children. Okay, we love to see the little white babies as they go for a leisurely stroll as they await the arrival of baby number 7.
Wow.
She don't care nothing about y'all calling her out.
Listen,
She about to
okay,
pump out another one.
They
and
are
obviously
pro-
he don't care either.
they pro-life over there in their personal relationship because he is filling it up. Alec Baldwin and his wife Hilaria took two of their children out for a walk in New York City on Friday. The actor, 64, stepped out in a maroon polo shirt and a pair of black slacks.
I like that shit.
It's a nice shirt. He walked in black loafers and an expensive looking watch clung to his left wrist. Look at them babies. Okay. No shoes on.
You gotta be stressed out.
Why?
64,
He do look
7
yeah.
kids.
Ooh, some of them kids ain't you gonna be gone for some of them kids get grown. 64.
Baldwin's white hair stuck out in several different directions, and a few days worth of stubble set prominently on his face. 30 Rock Star's better half, 38, sported a green flannel over white t-shirt. She wore a pair of black leggings and matching slippers. She pulled a black baseball cap that read culture department low over her eyes. Well, she do like other people's culture, so that makes sense.
Apparently so.
And donned a pair of thick sunglasses. Yeah, he always looks stressed out in these pictures now.
Of course he does. He realized that his wife isn't as exotic as he thought.
Oh, you think that's it? It's not the shooting a woman in her face and killing her part of it? I think that's what. I think that probably provided a lot of levity in their relationship. It was like, you know what? That's not the worst thing in the world. You faking being Spanish.
Yeah.
Her light brown hair was tucked behind the ears and brushed the tops of her shoulders. The couple pushed two of their kids, the son Eduardo, 18 months, and Lucia, 13 months, in the strollers as
and she about to have another one. I just had another one.
As they walked through the concrete.
Oh, did I disappear? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm coming back. My bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
Chris, what'd you say?
I was just making sure Karen was still.
Oh, okay. I thought she was refreshing. Thanks for letting her know that. Their appearance out came just a few days after the pair revealed the gender of the child they're expecting. They're expecting a baby girl. I wonder what extra Mexican name they gonna get this little girl. Wait, what extra Latina name? Because she be going extra hard with them white jeans to be like, this is my son Eduardo Jose Ramirez Baldwin. Well, I'm like, okay, all right, ma'am.
Selena.
Yeah, Selena. That's a good one. You know what? If they let us put odds on names, April, you know what? I would invest in Selena. That's a good one. That that might pay out at a high rate, But yeah, she revealed the child sex in a sentimental video she posted on her Instagram account with the words, "I can't wait to meet you, my daughter." Surprised she didn't say it in Spanish. You think she said it with the accent? I can't wait. How do you say
little girl?
The Boston-born influencer shared a visual keepsake for the unborn child along with her husband Alec and their 6 children, daughters Lucia, Carmen Gabriela, sons Rafael Thomas, Leonardo Angel Charles, Romeo Alejandro David, and Eduardo Edu Pau Lucas. So
you got to kind of feel a little bad for the kid that's just Rafael Thomas.
She was like, I don't know any. Yeah, Rafael. Well, you know what? I said it wrong. It's probably like Rafael Tomas.
Oh, okay, all right.
Even though it's spelled Thomas, I guarantee you she say Tomas. Yeah. Oh man.
Get her good Jesus in there.
Those poor babies. So yeah, they said this is their surprise baby news. They announced it in March, 5 months after his fatal Rush shooting. Hey, listen, one life ends, one life begins.
Oh no.
It has always been both fun and meaningful. It has always been both fun and meaningful for me to find out what is the sex of my baby. Yet, as I grow and learn, I want to do it a bit differently this time around. What will make our baby a loving whole person? What matters? What will make them feel seen, free, and proud? So there you go. Good luck to them. You know what I'm saying? You love to see it. Look at this beautiful family photo.
Damn,
Just-
he just look-
Ooh, a lot of
he
kids.
just looks so haggard, man. He just looks so stressed, bro.
yeah, man. Like this is
Shooting
not.
aside, yo, like
But look, he's still topping her off. I mean,
Mhm.
he
Hey,
can't be
man.
that stressed.
Hey,
Okay, they still
me
got the
that sperm still kicking.
he's still filling her up. Let's see, Jason Momoa.
What the hell wrong with you?
What? To the brim. Jason Momoa apologizes. He said, if you ever felt that I disrespected your culture, it wasn't my intention. He apologizes to fans for taking banned pictures inside the Vatican City's Sistine Chapel.
Oh man.
So he's been in Rome
Mhm.
because he's filming Fast and Furious 10, Fast X. And it took some time out with his friends and the crew for a private viewing of the chapel. However, after posting pictures from inside the building on Instagram this week, he received critical comments from fans who pointed out the public are not able to take pictures inside usually, with one writing, "We regular people are not allowed to film inside the Sistine Chapel," prompting him to apologize.
You should say, "I'm Aquaman, bitch."
Right. I don't know if y'all heard, but I'm not a regular member of the,
Exactly. He's
of
not
the
right.
public. I'm not regular, you broke bitch.
I'm not ready.
That's what he should say. I'm having sex with Lisa Bonet.
Exactly.
Okay, I can do what I want. He told Just Jared, I just want to say, if you ever felt that I disrespect your culture, it wasn't my intention. I came here when I was
disrespecting culture. They're just mad they couldn't take pictures.
I came in when I was 19 to 20 to experience Sistine Chapel. I've always wanted to, and now that I can, I gave a wonderful donation to bring my friends and crew because we only had a couple of days off to experience these places. And then I found people wanted to take pictures with me, which is very odd during a trip to the Vatican with all this wonder, and they want to take pictures with me, which I don't get, but regardless, I did. And he went on to say he never wanted to disrespect it, but he apologized that it happened. So these are some good pictures too.
Ain't they gorgeous?
Right? They hating not letting people take pictures.
Yeah, they just hating, man.
Yeah. Like imagine you God and that's what you mad about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All the shit going on in the world. Like, listen, I don't care that man shot up them black people in Buffalo. Like, that's
But the Sistine Chapel.
yeah.
Damn you to hell!
This nigga taking pictures in my shit. Like,
Well, fucking Aquaman. The movie wasn't even that good.
right. Sarah Silverman reveals that she shares a toothbrush with her boyfriend, Rory Albanese, and says, why is that so gross? She revealed things have gotten shockingly intimate between herself and fellow comedian Rory Albanese on Wednesday when she admitted that the two share the same toothbrush. The 51-year-old comedian left the co-host of The View repulsed before going even further by wondering aloud how sharing the toothbrush was any less clean than oral sex. Sonny, these are the real questions, and I applaud her bravery for asking them because I often wonder this myself. Like, I did, like when people were like, I would never share a toothbrush. I'll eat your asshole.
Right.
I mean, that's reasonable and rational. Okay. Listen, okay, you can throat fuck me. That is fine. Put a baby in me, even no condom, like whatever you need to do. But use my toothbrush? Are you out of your fucking mind? Like, I never understood the difference, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, I would.
Sonny Hostin. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Chris.
No, I'm just saying that's weird. But
Sonny Hostin brought up. Wait, which part is weird? Using the toothbrush or eating ass? I don't. Which one?
I would just say the toothbrush is something that you don't normally, the eating ass is an agreement that that the two people have or more. But
yeah, but the germs are still there.
So
That's
let me
what
just
people talking about.
So let me just set the picture real quick. Okay.
If I'm
you go on a date with someone you really like them or whatever, maybe it's the fifth date, maybe you're even almost quasi in a relationship. I don't know. This is her boyfriend after all.
Yeah.
Y'all do the nasty. Okay. If you go to town on each other, this is one of those sessions where it's just like the Lord will never forgive us for this. Like you want to go to church the next day. And
You want to go to church? You want to go to the Sistine Chapel the next
Yeah,
day?
you want to go to
And
Sistine
take
Chapel
pictures.
and take pictures the next day. Like, God need to see this. He need to see me winning. And so you
He already
you
saw
act-
you.
you laying in bed, right? She gets up in the morning and she's like, "Oh, Chris, I left my toothbrush at home. Do you mind if I use your toothbrush?" You would be like, "Hell no. Are you out of your mind?"
Yeah,
That's
but
I'll
gross.
order you a toothbrush.
Is
I
that,
would
I mean, is that an accurate picture? Like, you would say no, or would you like let her use it, but you would throw it out after, buy a new toothbrush? Like,
probably throw it
what's
out.
what would you do?
I would, because you use the toothbrush after you finish that session.
Right.
So I would get another toothbrush.
Wow.
And I would get her a toothbrush.
No, but I mean,
She
this
could
is
use at the crib.
she got 15 minutes to get to work. She overslept.
She
Can I
uses
use the
that toothbrush. She can use that toothbrush. I get rid of it, and then she'll have.
Then you buy 2 toothbrushes.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so this is a thing. I've heard people say it's a thing. I
would be
guess I'm
absolutely
on Sarah Silverman's side. I guess I'm nasty because I feel like if we did all these unspeakable things to each other last
You
night,
swapping spit
go
and all
ahead,
types of
go
shit.
ahead and use my toothbrush.
I would have her own. Like I would have her own. What's the kind, like, I mean, if that was my lady, like she'd have her own. But you know, if it was like we just got to know each other and we went to town on each other, she and I didn't have an extra toothbrush, like a spare that I was gonna use, I just give that to her. But then like just get
and
rid,
then you
get a
you'd
new
have
one,
steak-
get 2 more.
you'd have steak breath all day till you get to CVS.
I would wear a mask and I would, I would get the mouth. Have no mouth wash, I would hair.
I think we have our poll for the show, but that's
the
to
poll.
me, this sounds crazy. This sounds crazy. I don't think she sounds crazy at all. I've always
Chris Morale.
Mr. Chris Morale.
my dentistry's different, guys. Come on.
I
afraid you gonna get that tartar.
I teeth different.
You don't get that gingivitis.
Oh my god! I this is a thing
Let
apparently.
the ancestors see.
Wow! Oh my god! And I love how everyone makes up having a spare, too. Which I'm saying, even having a spare, like if I there's been times where I go in my bathroom, there's 2 toothbrushes in there, and Karen's used the one I use. I just brush my teeth. I'm like, I don't think to myself like, God damn, I gotta
just
get
pick
new
up a toothbrush.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I did not know this was a thing. What?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if it put like this, by the time you done all that nasty shit with them, whatever they got, you got anyway.
Yeah, Rod and Karen, have you ever shared a toothbrush?
Yes.
And we have multiple toothbrushes. This is like 5 toothbrushes in here, but I can't keep up with them musical chairs. I'm like, just grab the.
All of them looking like I just
Yeah.
flick one up.
I really didn't know this was a thing. Y'all don't even want to know the other things we're doing to each other in here.
I don't want to know that. I want to look at. I will always,
Y'all got a line of toothbrush. I thought
if anybody can find a better definition, I've always considered the 2 of you the Eric and Tammy Taylor of podcasting. Now, if you could give me a black equivalent, I'll go with that. But I don't really want to know.
Yeah, we got 2 bathrooms and like 3 toothbrushes. It's musical chairs up in here.
But I'm not judging. I just wouldn't.
No, judge away. It don't matter to me.
No.
What did Kendrick say? Okay.
What did Kendrick? Yeah, Kendrick said you shouldn't judge.
Now this one I do, and I think people are gonna foul that. I think also we're in a point where like anytime a white person talks about hygiene,
you nasty motherfucker.
Right? Like they got 400 years of this to deal with. We got some catching up to do, but. I didn't. So that one to me wasn't that nasty. I was like, that's fine. Who gives a fuck? This one, James Corden said, I'll raise you. He said, I use soap, but I don't wash my hair. He only shampoos his hair once every 2 months. He was discussing his showering habits because I guess every white person has to tell us.
We need to know for some reason.
I feel like it's a secret challenge that celebrity white people are doing. Is like,
who can be the
show, talk about your showering habits. And
That's
that's why we keep finding out, you know, because you got what Ashton Kutcher and then was like, we don't wash our babies.
Yeah.
And then somebody started this all with, I don't wash my legs. Why you gotta wash your legs? Like, it feel like white people are daring each other. And his is, my hair can have 2 months of shit in it, apparently.
Yeah.
He said he be showering in under 5 minutes. Under 5. I thought I took fast showers as a child with a brother and family. You know, it's like, hey,
I
can't
know.
be in there all day.
And I'm the opposite. I take long showers.
I gotta tell the chat room, this isn't Guess the Race yet, guys. So
yeah, calm down on the racism, man. Right?
Wow.
I'm in and out of there 3 or 4 minutes. I use soap, but I don't wash my hair. I wash it every 2 months. That's a true story. I do not think we are nasty. Okay.
Nobody saying you got to wash it every day. I mean, but all the shit there.
You are joking me. What if that is an average? That means there are people in there for 20 minutes. Oh my God! When someone said that they shower, the average shower time in LA is 10 minutes, and he was like, "What? 10 minutes? Can't imagine that."
Yeah, I've taken 20-minute shower. Yes,
yeah.
I pay for the water bill.
I take about 10 minutes normally, like 10, 15 minutes.
And as long as I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. 5 minutes is like the shower you take when that's a whole bath.
You gotta rush to get somewhere.
Yeah, that's like the shower
like,
you take
wet
when you forgot you got a doctor's appointment. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, fuck, I don't want to be in that stellar. Like 5 minutes, like, oh my God, like.
What you do is jump in there, let the water run on you, and jump out. 5 minutes. The fuck is this?
Yeah, 10 is the average, which means half of people take one shorter than that, half of the people take one longer than that. This is
I'm in a long category.
Yeah, I don't know.
People like that, like in show business, if you're around people, you got hair and makeup people around you. You don't want to be all funky, you know. I mean,
right. Now I will say this though. There's never a number good enough for black people. And I believe that is because of slavery.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely because of slavery. Like we don't want to admit we're traumatized.
Right.
So you see people, you know, like everyone's gonna be dunking on each other. Like whenever someone says some shit like, oh, you know, I take 5 minute showers, it'll be like, oh, you take 5, I take 5 hours. I go to bed in the tub, okay? I wake up and I don't get out until all my skin is that webby feeling, and then I go to work. You're like, okay, I soak myself like I marinate. All right, we get it. You fucking
calm down.
You're the cleanest person in the world,
right? And people act like all niggas is clean, and we ain't all clean.
Other white people niggas. Oscar-nominated actor James Cromwell glues himself to Starbucks counter.
Oh, we gluing ourselves to the counters? Did you give it enough time to seal? Unlike the lady that did it on the court. They just slid her hand off. Was like, no, ma'am.
This is James Cromwell, which I recognize his face from a lot of stuff.
Yes, I do too.
Like he seems like the white guy that always plays like a corrupt business CEO guy.
Yes, he does.
It's like, actually, Jack Bauer, I'm behind the terrorism. He's like, oh shit.
Oh shit.
I'm Mr. Stoneheart. It's in the name.
Yeah.
Your bank loan is denied.
Oscar-nominated actor James Cromwell superglued himself to the counter of a Starbucks cafe in New York City on Tuesday to protest the chain's policy of charging extra for plant-based milk.
What'd they do? Pour some frappe on it and slid his hand off? Sir, get your hand off this counter.
It's not about Ukraine. It's just
right. There was like this plant-based milk will actually easily dissolve this. So we cool now.
And while I'm here, I also don't appreciate what's happening with the Sistine Chapel. You can't just go in there taking pictures. The protest began at 10 a.m. According to live stream footage, which was shared to Facebook by PETA on Tuesday morning after going himself to the cafe counter. Cromwell, who has appeared in Babe, LA Confidential, and Secession, read a prepared statement in which he denounced Starbucks' vegan milk upcharge, calling it harmful to the environment, discriminatory towards those who suffer from lactose intolerance, which affects people of color at a greater percentage, according to the National Institutes of Health.
And now you're holding up the line. Would I be rude if I be like, next? Go ahead and reach over him. Next. What did you order, ma'am? Like, sir, you can't hold up the line.
I don't know. I mean, he kind of got me with that last line
Like
about
people of color.
Come on, look out. The bare minimum.
Welcome to the cookout.
For those of you that
Welcome to the cookout.
have that lactate problem, Uncle June, go on over there.
Welcome to the cookout. Welcome to the cookout. Yes. Look out for them black stomachs, okay? I heard that if you go in there and request the vegan milk and say you're lactose intolerant, they won't charge you the upcharge, which kind of does prove that they don't need to charge you the upcharge. It is probably a conspiracy by Big Milk to make sure that we
The
get
barista.
Right. Buy this cow milk, so they upcharge for everything else.
So I appreciate him putting on for the blacks, unlike looks like Jawan it went over Jawan's head, so he's just gonna let black people suffer. When will you stop raking in huge profits while customers, animals, and the environment suffer? He said, when we will stop penalizing people for their ethnicities and their morals. He didn't come to land on Plymouth Rock or something like that. I don't know. We didn't land on Lactate Rock. My people have been bubble guts.
Tummy aches.
Run amok. You can keep running amok. That's actually
for decades.
That is actually the same language.
Everyone has their cross to bear.
Yes, and his is the 75-cent upcharge. Police officers eventually responded to the scene. Imagine you gotta call the police. Yeah, we gotta. It's not an emergency, but
they won't even believe you. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah, like I just picture that call being real low stakes. You know what I mean? 911, can I help you? Yeah, when you get time, like it's not like the most pressing thing, but we down here at the Starbucks on Broadway, and James Cromwell, you know him? You know, you watch Succession? Okay. The daddy or whatever. You gotta go through the details. You know that
IMDb. He was you don't remember that episode when he came? Oh, you know.
How about this show? I know you remember him on this one.
Season 4 of 24. Remember when it was an American conspiracy? Not the Muslim one, the American. Okay, him. Right. And he turned out to be.
Did you see The Longest Yard?
Yeah.
Not the original, the new one.
The remake? Yeah.
Yeah, the remake.
Okay, remember the warden. Okay. So like now the police looking it up. Hold on this page now. IMDb. Oh yeah, I know him from somewhere.
He's
Yep.
Holy shit.
JL Covan, they aged him up. Play him in the movie.
Damn.
So yeah. I don't know why I guess because we outside, but for some reason this PETA protest is picking up but Starbucks been charging this surcharge for years. So I don't know. The news alert go out to white people or something. Here's another one. Adele confirms she and boyfriend Rich Paul have moved in together.
Let's go.
Okay. He is all the way up in there now. Adele's confirmed she moved in with her boyfriend Rich Paul after years of dating, as she shared a snap of them outside their new home. The singer 34 took to Instagram on Wednesday and shared a series of loved up snaps of the couple, including one where they both held up their keys to the abode. In January, it was claimed the vocal powerhouse was spending $58 million on a fourth property, Sylvester Stallone's Beverly Hills mega mansion that sat on the market for the better part of a year. And now the home has revealed to be a new love nest for the singer and her boyfriend.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah. Her caption had "Time flies," lip kissy emoji. some stars and a black heart. Ooh, not the black heart. Okay,
Which-
sis.
what does the black heart mean though?
It must mean he holding it down. You know what I'm
That
saying?
black love.
He must be holding it down. Adele already owned 3 homes in the star-studded neighborhood of Beverly Hills before adding Stallone's former abode to her property portfolio in January.
3 homes in the same neighborhood and 3 homes.
That's
in
what it's saying in
Wow.
a star-studded neighborhood. Yep.
Yeah.
The 18,587 square foot home was designed by Richard Landry and boasts 8 bedrooms and 12 bathrooms.
Let's go.
I bet they won't be using the same toothbrush.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
They probably got eight toothbrushes a bathroom.
They probably got a
Stallone.
dentist's office on staff.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like,
They got a convenience store on that property.
I went to the bathroom and the same toothbrush from yesterday was in there. Was that a mistake?
Your
Say that again, Chris.
Turner into Simon Cowell. What the fuck? You're fired. You are.
Stallone had been working hard to sell the mega mansion that he purchased in the 90s and initially listed the home for 110 million, but there were no takers, so he cut it down to 85 million. That's the first home decrease in property value I've heard of in 2022.
Yeah, homes ain't. I mean, like I said, quote unquote, everybody buying homes, but it's getting to the point now where everybody's like, these prices got to drop. Like, ain't nobody
Mhm.
afford this.
So this is the pool. Look at that big ass pool. You'll land a helicopter in that shit.
That's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
That's really nice.
And these are 3 of her houses. She
Damn.
oh.
Wow.
So she bought these houses and basically treat them like one property. That's why she owns
Oh,
so many.
okay.
Look how close them houses is to each other.
Damn.
God damn, what a flex.
That's a compound now.
I'm gonna stay in the 3rd house tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's getting a little drafty I'm gonna drive up the street to the other house. It's getting a little drafty in here. Rich, you good?
Anybody else sell, she gonna buy them bitches too.
They get in an argument. She's like, why don't you go to the 1st house then, nigga? Damn. On my nerves. Fuck you, nigga. Fuck you, bitch. Yeah, good for her.
Like I can't go to that house because we Airbnb'd it to Usher.
Oh man, did they are kissing at the
Adorable.
Yeah, man.
that they are hanging out and matching gray shirts, watching the game. Not matching shirts. Oh, okay, Rich. I see how Rich holding it down.
Mhm.
She's smiling.
See,
What a happy album is gonna sound like.
I know her next album gonna be whack.
Yeah. Did
Oh,
Mike
man.
Lynch used to have a bit about her? Like, if like I don't want to butcher the bit. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, look at this dress. There's a fire dress.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Mhm.
Were people mad? Wasn't Black Twitter mad when she had braids or something?
Yeah, I mean, deservedly
But that's
so.
why, because she was dating a black guy, right?
Nah, I think that was before. Well, she was dating a black guy, but that was Skepta or whatever that dude's name
Oh, okay.
is.
All right.
Yeah, she was kicking with some Jamaican dudes and got too comfortable. They,
Yeah.
dudes. We not really keepers of the code with that shit.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I would.
Like you need some black women around to be like, girl, no,
Yeah.
take them
Don't
out.
do that. Yeah.
You don't think it looks good?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
No, you don't like
I'm
it.
here to save your life.
Don't you post that? Don't you post that? Adele, put the phone down. Like this. Adele, put the phone down. Put the damn phone down. Okay. Now, first of all, you got me in the background. I'm gonna lose my black card.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like what I imagine it is for black women in the Portland area that still get their hair done by
Rachel Dolezal.
Rachel Dolezal.
You can't let nobody know
She
you.
good.
It's like
I don't care.
she's right. Like
They be like, she be laying the hell out of my edges, but I ain't gonna tell nobody I go to it.
yeah,
though.
they ain't gonna take no pictures. Okay,
They
like
gonna bring her
Adele.
to the crib.
Like, look,
Mm-mm.
Rachel Dolezal, motherfucking salon ain't got that picture thing up there with the like the grid. You know what I'm talking about? Like she can't even have that in her shop because it's like, bitch, what you doing? What you doing? I'm just trying to show you. No, put the phone down. You play. See, that's what got you in trouble in the first place. You play too much.
Y'all coming there with hoodies on, mask on. And my appointment is at midnight. Why your appointment at midnight? My appointment is at midnight. Put your ass up and meet me there. No, ain't nobody gonna know you do my hair.
She be getting hair from like you up.
You know, They exchange messages via carrier pigeon. They don't want the
footprint.
All
her shit is WhatsApp.
Like,
yeah, like Joe said, you be the back entrance. That's one time people don't mind going in through the back.
You up? It's 3 a.m. I'm gonna need you to get some. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and get these Bantu knots working.
I'll bring breakfast. Just get your ass up and be there.
Right. Oh man.
Hilarious.
Whew. Let's see what else these white people is going on. Is it Jerry Horner or Gary Horner? Geri?
I don't know who that is.
All right, Jerry Horner. This is a definitely white woman. Jerry Horner shares a photo of her rarely seen daughter Bluebell as she celebrates youngster's 16th birthday with hilarious throwback snaps.
Like the ice cream?
Yeah, Bluebell.
What's she on?
Maybe that's what she ate when she was pregnant.
Maybe.
Yeah. Talking to Instagram, the Spice Girl 49. Her
Jerry Howell. Oh, she changed her name. Oh, her last name was Horner.
Must have got. Did she get married and change it?
I guess.
Original. I wonder if white people listening to this be mad. You think they be mad? Because I definitely don't know these white people. What they be like? This is Howell, Chris. Sorry,
okay. Because she married a guy named Christian Horner in 2015. So Halliwell was her. Okay, now that you mentioned she was a Spice Girl, okay, I know who she is now.
Yeah, I just wonder if white people be mad. Like they probably knew when I said Gary. They were like, "It's Jerry, bitch! God damn it!"
Get it right, Rod.
I hate this segment. I hate it.
Sometimes I don't get mad, but I'm like, y'all don't know that guy. Y'all don't know that's Doogie Howser.
I'd be oblivious. And you say Doogie House, I'm like, oh, okay. But you say their real name, I'm like, who?
That's how I feel whenever white people be talking about like NFL running backs and shit. I think it's Tamari. What? I'm like, shut the fuck up.
You fucking racist.
Right, you racist son of. You don't even know it's Demarius, nigga. It's right there. In the first and most recent selfie, Jerry donned her usual all-white attire as she smiled next to her lookalike daughter. All white, so that's her thing. Was she like sugar spice or something? What was it? Salt? Which spice was she?
Ginger spice.
Ginger spice. Okay, that's white. She then took to her story and shared a hilarious throwback of the duo as they posed up for a storm against a wintry backdrop, mocking her past fashion choices. Jerry wrote, "Fashionistas," as she could be seen in a gray fur coat, bubblegum pink trousers, and hot pink aviator sunglasses. Oh, this is adorable. She boosted her height with some towering boots and coordinated leg warmers, and little Bluebell stood next to her. So that's like a throwback picture for her daughter. That's beautiful.
Ain't it adorable?
It's adorable to see white people just, living.
Mm-hmm.
In another photo, Bluebell can be seen alongside her mom and her stepdad, Christian Horner, 48, as they smiled in an old family photo. Well, he's not really smiling that much. Jerry also included an adorable snap of Bluebell with the why didn't he smile? An adorable snap of Bluebell with a wild mane of curly locks and a Peppa Pig hat. Alongside the post she penned, "Happy birthday, Bluebell, 16. We're so proud of you, the amazing person you are. Watching you grow up is such a blessing. We love you, Bluebell."
How old is Peppa Pig? Peppa Pig old.
Apparently so.
Peppa Pig been around like 30 years, probably.
That's probably why she talk like that. So yeah, good for them. What is this, her ex-husband? Oh yeah, this is the ex-husband. We don't care about him. It's not about him today. About Bluebell. All right, let's do some fucking with black people and then we'll get out of here.
Fucking with black people. Fucking with black people. Fucking with black people. Fucking with black people.
Oh shit! Wait, I said fucking with black people. I meant guess the race. God damn it! Sorry, I'm trying to get Chris to be racist. That's my bad, everybody.
Remix. So if I ever get on audition for SNL,
This time we're the race. It's time for Guess the Race. It's time for Guess the Race.
What were you gonna say, Chris?
Now's your chance.
You
Sorry,
have to
Chris.
delete this if I ever get an audition for SNL, if I book it or something.
They just gonna
Whenever-
take this part out of context.
Yeah.
He thought it was funny.
You see the way he laughed at those racist jokes.
You know, if you treat these statements like he's saying statements and not jokes, it's actually racist. All right, let's go with the first one. Guess the race. Woman accused of driving into a crowd at North Las Vegas In and Out. I guess she thought it was more of like an up and over.
A woman who admitted to driving her car into a crowd of people at an In-N-Out told police they deserved it. 30-year-old Jessica Del Falco faces attempted murder charges. Police on April 30th, she was in line at an In-N-Out and got into an argument with a customer who was ahead of her. According to her arrest report, she accelerated into a crowd of onlookers after they began to record her hitting two people and a car. She admitted to having anger issues and said she felt bullied by the onlookers. She also admitted to being under the influence during the incident. When police told her no one died, she told them they deserved every bit of it.
Okay.
I guess it is, after all, a drive-through. Karen, guess the race of Jessica DeFalco.
White.
All right, Chris.
White.
The chat room says Janet Soprano White. Bonnie looking for her Clyde White. Unrepented white woman shit. She drank that Mad Dog and hit that gas. White. I didn't know I couldn't do that. White. Crazy Taxi. The always a victim edition. White. The correct answer is white. Y'all got it.
Okay.
And
Go
her.
to the jail.
Go to this.
Yeah, she definitely looks unrepentant and like
Yeah, she might as well say, I hope they die. I wanted them to die. And I hope they burn in hell. I mean, shit, there was no remorse.
I could just see her yelling how very high pitched scream at people to stop filming her as she drove them over.
Yes.
Like,
How dare you?
right.
Get away from me.
Offer some In and Out.
Is it not like I've been
I
there?
don't know.
No, I don't think we ever have one because they don't have one out here. They don't have them out here.
It's mostly West.
Let's go to
It
the
is
next
West
one.
Coast.
Let's go to the next one. Engineer who designed Sask Bridge that collapsed hours after opening to face his disciplinary hearing. Sask Engineering Association alleges that Scott Gulicker broke rules when he designed the Dick Memorial Bridge.
I wonder how that bridge was bending.
It's like we could fix it with a little ED pills.
Not the gas station ones, the one that are
The good ones.
The good ones.
The ones just prescribed.
They're gonna they actually said to fix the bridge, they're just gonna have Jesse Williams come out there. Regina engineer Scott Gulicker will face a disciplinary hearing next month over allegations that he broke the rules when he designed a bridge in the rural Saskatchewan area that collapsed just hours after it was open to the public.
Damn.
Oh, man, you didn't even try. It's like when I made a diorama in 9th grade for science class, and this shit just like by the time I got to school, it was like, oh, this was a mistake.
What was it made out of? Nobody verified. So that wasn't a test run. Nobody went up there and poked the hole through the cement. It was like, no cars would be rolling across this. The fuck is this?
On the Facebook page, the rural municipality of Clayton posted the Dick Memorial Bridge is now complete and open. Later
Nobody
that day,
died, right?
Say what? I'm sorry.
He said
Nobody
died.
died.
Nobody died. No.
Oh,
no.
good.
Later that same day, the bridge collapsed. No one was injured. Well, here's my thing. It was up for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It went down. Why didn't y'all just wait 20 minutes and then drive over? Oh, never mind. Fuck the joke. I couldn't even finish it. Y'all didn't make it a sandwich or nothing? In an interview just days after the
Ask you, was it ready for bedtime?
y'all didn't let it take a nap? Shit.
It didn't say so. That's you done. That's it.
It's just one bridge.
I hope you got satisfied because I'm finished.
The worst part is another bridge off in the distance just watching. In an interview just days after the collapse, the RM's Reed Dwayne Hicks said that some of the pilings on which the bridge were built had collapsed. So something tells me that something underneath the ground happened. I don't know what it was. They don't know what it was. Nobody knows what it was. At the time, Hicks chalked it up to an act of God.
Oh no, that's not good.
However, there may be another explanation. Hicks also revealed the engineer who designed the bridge, Scott Gulliker, hadn't done geotechnical investigation of the riverbed before installing the piles. After years of investigation, an association of professional engineers and geoscientists of Saskatchewan posted a notice on website on Wednesday saying Gulliker will face disciplinary hearings in early June. They allege he failed to practice in a careful and diligent manner when he designed the bridge and the screw piles that were supposed to hold it up. They also claim he was offering services or advice in the area outside his professional competence. In addition, they allege he failed to be careful and diligent in his design of bridges in four other Saskatchewan rural municipalities, including Scott, Caledonia, Purdue, and Mervyn.
How is he still allowed to make bridges?
I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Probably what he said.
Yeah, but they ain't gonna make it to the other side.
He got a lot of burned bridges in his past. He can't get
Who's
these
his supervisor? Don't he ain't got no supervisor?
Falling bridges. How did he keep getting these jobs?
Damn.
It's above him.
Apparently so. It might be below him.
RM of Clayton has sued Gallagher and two companies he and his wife control. Construct Systems Ltd. was described as a bridge construction firm, and Inertia Solutions, which provides engineering services.
No wonder why he ain't got no supervisor. He is the supervisor.
Right.
Damn, that's wild. Like the
right.
state or the government doesn't check it either. Or,
right.
Wow.
They say his companies breached their contract because the bridges were supposed to last 75 years, but only stayed up a few hours. That is a pretty big difference. I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty big.
Oh my God. They white.
Yes, you put like this. Yes, use your warranty. This is a perfect time. This is why you have warranties, apparently.
He was like, look, I'll be dead in 75 years. I don't give a fuck. Okay. I hope they kept that receipt.
What is that? What 1/100 of a tenth of the
Right.
time that it was supposed to survive?
Right. He need a not. They got the 90-day receipt.
75 years.
They came back.
You got the receipt? You got
They
the
came back.
receipt?
They came back to.
I can't do nothing for you.
They came back to his office and that shit just said all sales are final on the front.
So he game stopped him. He's like, hey,
Yeah.
after leave the
Look.
store, that's it.
I give you market price. Okay. That bridge, looking at that bridge right now, it's worth about $25. Okay.
Oh, no.
Now you can get it in store credit. I'll give you $35 off your next bridge. But
Damn.
$35 off the next one.
the lawsuit says no geotechnical report was prepared to determine the subsurface conditions under the bridge. Construct's bridge design called for the use of screw piles as opposed to the industry standard driven piles.
Damn.
His companies agreed that they hadn't done an investigation, but instead said that was the client's request. They want us to. All right, guess the race of Scott Gulliker.
White.
All right.
White.
All right. It looks like we got two whites in the house. Let's see what the chat room thinks.
I mean,
Lied on his resume to get the job. White. Didn't stay long and strong. It ain't a Jesse Williams bridge. White. Every white man ever white. Can you just kiss it a little bit, Bridge White? Construction not sponsored by Viagra White. That much fail. That's the whitest shit. I don't want no 1 minute, Bridge White.
It lasted about a minute.
Grand opening, grand closing for real white. Can't believe it's not infrastructure white. The correct answer is white.
Man, he looked like, wow, what a good
Why does picture look like he just finished selling that bridge?
He looks like a terrible salesman, like the salesman to be getting over on you.
That picture looked like you just signed off and he went, gotcha, bitch.
Yep, he definitely has that gotcha, bitch look on his face.
He even got the green for the money.
Right. Yeah. Damn, man. What a great picture. Like he gonna lose it quick when they just show this picture.
I'm like, sir.
Your Honor, I like this exhibit A. Okay, let's just get this over with. This is his picture after we signed the deal. Oh, yeah, he knew.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go to the bonus round. So far, y'all are 2 for 2.
Yay!
I ain't racist. How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
It's time to get
Gold teeth, gold chain wearing, fried chicken and biscuit eating, monkey eating, baboon, big guy, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360 degree.
All right. Woman admits to killing her husband over an affair, and then another woman claims to be the victim's real wife.
What?
A murder.
What's happening here?
A murder allegedly involving a Texas man, his purported wife, and his girlfriend took an unexpected and confusing turn when a third woman came forward claiming to be the male victim's real wife.
Oh, so this has actually got 3 women involved.
Mm-hmm. It's a love square.
Somebody is slanging that ding-a-ling.
Only thing worse than a love triangle, a love square. Karen Stewart.
His relationship lasts longer than that bridge.
Karen Stewart, 51, was everything lasted longer than that bridge.
Yes, it did.
The commercials longer than that bridge. Karen Stewart, 51, was arrested Saturday on a charge of murder when she allegedly confessed to killing a man she identified as her husband, James Hargrove, after he brought home another woman and professed his love to her. The deadly shooting happened just after 2:20 a.m. Harris County Precinct 4 constables who were called to the scene found Hargrove suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. He was rushed to the Houston Northwest Hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. When questioned by police, Stewart said Hargrove was her husband and that she opened fire on him in a fit of jealous rage when he told her he was in love with another woman. Hargrove's 41-year-old lover was at the house when the shooting happened but escaped unharmed. She has not been named. During Stewart's initial court appearance Monday, a woman who identified herself as Sandra Hargrove told several local news outlets that she was James Hargrove's real wife and not Stewart. According to Sandra, she and James had been married since 2009 but separated in November. Despite the split, she said they remained best friends, talked daily, and even considered a possible reconciliation.
There's a lot happening in this story.
He's still my husband. I mean, we have grandkids, we have kids, we have nieces and nephews. That's still my husband. Sandra says she did not know that James, who suffered from a laundry list of health issues, had been in a romantic relationship with Stewart, let alone a third woman. I just appreciate that he didn't let them health issues stop him from,
he didn't
being in these streets.
Health issues. What health issues?
9 bullets to the chest, Karen. That's a health issue.
9.
Sheriff's deputy said James had been in a relationship with Stewart for 7 years, and they lived together on and off. So that means even when he was with his first wife, he was in a serious relationship with this other woman.
And then had the time to pick up another one.
Right. Where do you find the time?
Right. It's hard enough to deal with this one other person.
I mean, I can't even catch up on TV shows.
Come on, regular ass TV.
James' other girlfriend, who allegedly witnessed the shooting and fled for her life, told cops she thought that the man and Stewart were in an open relationship and that he wanted the two women to meet.
Oh, so he thought nobody confirmed this?
According to Sandra, James had just recovered from COVID after spending 4 months in a coma.
Oh, just recovered from COVID.
He was paralyzed for a year, had 2 heart attacks, a stroke, and kidney failure.
God damn. It still had enough time to pick up another woman?
Well, the vaccine got the 5G in it. Okay, so number one. Wow. My man was out here living. Meanwhile, Stewart remained jailed on $75,000 bond. She due back in court August 17. Court records obtained by ABC 13 indicate she was charged with felony battery in 2016 in Louisiana after allegedly running over her then husband with a truck and dousing him with lighter fluid.
Oh,
Stewart later pled guilty to a downgraded charge of simple battery in that case. Hey, look, he needed to do some research on her because she wasn't the one.
no.
Yeah, she was. Wow. Oh man.
Anyway, guess the race.
White. What was the name again?
Karen Stewart.
White.
All right. Chris?
I feel like the husband was black, but I'm gonna go with black.
All right. Black Karen will not call your manager. Unknown Sister Wives white. Tyler Perry presents Manure, Marriage, and Mayonnaise white. Twisted Sister Wives white. 55% white. August Wilson play black. That this a nigga, all of them. What in the inception is this? All of this sounds a tinge niggerish. This is a white lady. It's not on him, it's in him, black. Karen gonna Karen white. Anti-vaxxer and a bigamist white. Why do fools fall in love too, but white? The correct answer is Chris said black, Karen said white.
Mm-hmm.
Someone will be declared the winner right now.
Okay.
And it is Chris.
Oh. Damn.
Of course, Karen, you lost.
I got eliminated the last round.
Yep. That's her. Man, she's even crying. She's still crying. That man hurt her.
Oh, and she was not here for it.
She really thought that was her husband.
Mm-hmm. She was like, look, my edges is gone because of you. You're going to take these hot bullets.
I was a lover and sex.
Rob, why was I thinking the same thing, dog? Why was I thinking the same song?
Every day of the week.
Yes. That's his old player ass off of 2 heart attacks, a stroke,
COVID,
kidney failure, like coma. Nigga was in a coma, woke up and was like, I'm back on these streets.
Oh my gosh.
I'm still on y'all ass.
Not
Man.
Quincy, but I'm back on the block.
Yes. Back on them.
Good God, man.
Yeah, but you know what? Somebody brought up a good point. That's gonna be a snap story. We gonna
no. This for my man or
I could play him in the movie. In the series.
Well, now you above this now. This is a Fatal Attraction on TV1.
What's the name? That show Candy on Hulu, the Jessica Biel joint.
Oh,
yeah, like you could,
do a version with this.
Maybe before, but I want to play. What's my man? My dream role is to play the mayor of Detroit, Kwame Kilpatrick.
Kwame Kilpatrick. Yeah,
that's the dream. That's like the dream, like a mini.
We just got to keep Brian.
Kill that role.
We got to keep Brian Tyree Henry busy.
He can't lock down with what they got to find out. He's got to do something where he's really busy.
Yeah,
and they give me a shot.
Like he in the
and they sneak it in.
He in the Marvel movies. We just get him on them Disney Plus series or some shit.
Yeah, and then me and him could do something together one day. I get big enough, me and him could do something together. It ain't. He's so good in Atlanta. I want to hate on him, but I can't. He's so good. Let me ask you guys, quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
What is his equivalent in real life? What is Paperboy's equivalent to his stardom? What do you think? What rapper?
Oh, you mean like who is he as famous as a rapper?
Yeah, right.
I think because of the way they kind of alluded to it this season, I would say something like A$AP Rocky, because they had all that overseas shit, the people kind of mobbing them, and even the going to jail part felt like ripped out of the headlines. So it seemed like A$AP.
Okay.
Like not not like so famous he can't walk down the street, but famous enough he can't walk down the street without people noticing it's him.
Yeah.
Of being like, do I know you?
Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's go to the final thing, sword ratchetness, and then we'll get out of here. Everybody, it's
Mhm.
been so fun.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Introducing Money 360. First Fidelity Bank offers this intuitive.
Oh shit!
online
First
banking
Fidelity
tool.
Bank.
Shut up!
Showing you how to
What is happening?
I don't know.
Oh God!
I don't know. It's one of them things where it's playing in the background. You don't know which one.
I'm trying to shut it up. I was gonna just play the article, but then it just started playing this commercial.
Okay.
Well, now there's only 3 seconds left. I might as well finish the article.
Right. Might as well let it
Fin-
play.
Man, that sucks. Sorry about that, everybody.
You can finally see all your finances in 360.
Tulsa police say an officer shot and killed a man who was attacking his father with a sword on Sunday. Police say they were responding to a domestic call near Pine and Yale when 21-year-old Luis Torres started attacking his father with a sword. An officer shot Torres, who died at the scene. That officer is now on leave pending internal and criminal investigations.
His own daddy. That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess he hadn't heard Father Time at the time, so he didn't have no appreciation. All right, y'all, that's it. Appreciate y'all. Chris, tell them where to find you,
Chris.
You can find me. Thanks, guys, for having me. You can find me at chrislambert.com. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Lambert. My podcast, The Mundane Festival, is out wherever you listen to podcasts. And hopefully you'll see me doing stand-up at some point somewhere.
Yes. Go check this man out if he's in your area.
He's very funny live.
And continue to support. Check out the Mundane Festival. I'm a Patreon listener as well. And we'll be back later in the week. If not tomorrow, definitely Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday we have Jesse Sparks from eater.com as a guest, and then next Sunday we have Shalewa Sharp and Gaster Almonte from
Yay!
the War Report podcast.
That's gonna be
Oh,
fun.
can I say one thing? I'm sorry. Shalewa Sharp, when you asked about music, like get excited about music, Shalewa and I, the only other time I really talked music like in depth like this was with Where's My 40 Acres Crew. Shalewa and I became cool because we both like St. Vincent. And the last album that she did, Daddy's Home, that came out last year, we did like a podcast where we broke down every track. I don't know if you guys, your fan base listens to her like that, listens to
St. Vincent
like that. But like she's one of those artists, like Kendrick included, where like all I gotta know is they putting something out and I'm with it, you know.
Yes, sir.
I love Shalewa. Shalewa's awesome.
Yep, agreed. We'll talk to them next Sunday. Until then, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Bye, Chris.
Thanks for having me, y'all. Good.